We're heading into week 11. It's hard to believe that, 10 weeks are in the books. So we only have 8 more weeks to go. But we're going to guide you through any fantasy waiver wire stuff you have. Any questions you may have, just drop them in the chat. We'll answer them. We'll go through a week 11 onward fantasy football draft and review all the games from last week. Before we get into everything, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. As always, I'm wearing something for the merch store, and this is dedication to Kenny's former city. May is Wrath Month. So Wrath rights or human rights. Just don't burn anything down, please. You can get that shirt as well as everything else at the merch store here, 20% off sale. We have t-shirts. We have you can change anything to a hoodie, anything into a long sleeve t-shirt, anything into a women's tank top, anything into an infant onesie even. We have mugs. We have our famous apron. We have a baseball cap. It's all here at the merch store. Also consider buying my books. The most recent one is Jerks to College Years, where I made fun of people I met at Penn State. It was a lot of fun to write. I think you guys will have a lot of fun reading it. And also Safety and a Field Goal, which is a top 5 topic book about the NFL, mostly serious stuff, but some fun stuff as well. And please consider super chats and super stickers. That's really the best way to support the show. I can't say that enough. But you guys helped us out so much. Kevin Kovac, especially. I think last week he gave us like $50 in super chats. It's so awesome. So thank you so much, Kevin. Just really appreciate it. And thank you everyone else who's contributed here and kept the show going. That like I said, that's really the best way to do it. So we are joined once again by Kenny Ortiz from thecapIsFake.com. Kenny, how's it going?
Well, how's it going? Let me see. Well, the Philadelphia Eagles are still Super Bowl defending champs. I am still overweight because I love sugar and have plenty of access to it, particularly with trick-or-treating candy laying around. And how else is it going? And my wife is hot, so I think life is great.
Yeah, I got some stickers here, some random candy. You got Pepsi. I definitely hear you about the sugar. Definitely need to lose some weight here. Actually, I was talking to someone. Our 25-year reunion's coming up. We graduated high school in 2000. And so I texted someone today. And I'm like, are you going into the reunion? And he's like, I don't know. I'm kind of fat. I'm like, dude, we're all fat here. Like, what do you want? We're in our early to mid 40s here. It's bound to happen. No one's going to be like, wow, you got fat. Like what happened? It's like, you're not 20 something. You're 40, 43 or 40, whatever. So it's
what happened? Earth happened. Sugar happened. The world happened. What are you talking about? Like life happened.
Yeah, that's I blame the red 40 or whatever in our food. Which my wife, I don't know how your wife feels about that. My wife is like don't buy anything with red, whatever. Like anything I see red, yellow and blue, she doesn't care too much about. But red's the bad one. So we can't have that in our house. Although I do sneak in some Doritos here and there. So don't tell her if you talk to her. Texans have snuck into the top half of offenses by yards a game. Davis Mills, we'll talk about him. He was pretty incredible in that fourth quarter. I like that Chris Berman called him General Mills. It was a nice flashback from Chris Berman at halftime. Ahead of the Falcons, Eagles, Redskins. I don't know who commanders are. Redskins, Bucks, Ravens, and Bengals. No one saw that coming. Well, the Bengals are going to get Joe Burrow back soon, apparently. So they'll be going up too. Juan Pena, official 24, asking who for my QB1: Bo Nix, CJ Stroud, JJ McCarthy, Brissett, Aaron Rodgers, Flacco, or David Mills. Davis Mills. Man, that's quite the group there. Flacco's not going to be starting for too much longer. So it sounds like Burrow's going to come back week 13, he thinks. Rodgers sailing passes over everyone's head. That was bad. Mills, I mean, Stroud might start. We don't know yet. It is an easy matchup. So I think anyone who starts against the Titans, you might want to go with. I think that's what I would do. Actually, McCarthy has a great matchup against the Bears. The Bears have a lot of injuries in the secondary. So I think for this week, I think I'd go as bad as it might seem, because McCarthy was awful last week. I think I'd go McCarthy. What do you think?
Maybe McCarthy. I don't know. McCarthy sucked. Gosh, I mean, he could be. I don't know. Yeah, McCarthy. Who did the Broncos play again this week?
The Chiefs. It's a run funnel defense.
Knicks has been terrible. Yeah, I don't know, man. I might throw Dart at Brissett in this. I mean, I don't know who. Although Flacco's been on fire, man. If you're
Yeah.
talking for 1 week, I might go Flacco.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking, for some reason more long term. But if you're only this week, then yeah, I agree with Flacco. You saw what happened to Pittsburgh's cornerbacks in that game Sunday night. They were going down like flies. They already moved Ramsey to safety because they had so many injuries to safety, and now they have no corners left. So I think Flacco should have a pretty good game. And then Juan had another question. Who for my receiver 1, 2, 3 and flex spot? He has Adams, Samuel, Quentin Johnston, Myers, Addison, Parker Washington, or Tez Johnson. Then he also has Charbonnet, DiMercado. So he's got Jacobs and Henderson at RB 1 and 2. Okay, and Taylor on by. Well, I think you definitely want Adams in there. And then assuming he plays, which I think he will. It says Q, but it sounded like he could come into last week's game if he was able to. So I would like Adams. And then I know Kenny, you like Tez Johnson in general. I don't know if you beat out these guys, but look, Addison has that good matchup against the Bears too. So I would maybe look to him. I think I would go Adams, then Addison, and Tez Johnson, Charbonnet. What do you think?
For the flex spot, I think Charbonnet is the better option. I mean, unless the rules are super unique, almost always going to give a tie to the running back, and so I think Charbonnet is a better flex option there. And I think Adams. I like Addison. I think to me, it's a toss up between Tez Johnson and Quentin Johnston. I like Johnston. I mean, Johnston's he's still getting very much part of. It's 50-50 between those two guys. I got to be honest. It's hard to say, bro. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Juan. I'm not as helpful.
Johnston's production has been down ever since Joe Alt left. Without Joe Alt, it's been more McConkey, just because he runs the shorter routes. And so when Alt's on the field, that's when Johnson tends to do more. But Alt's gonna be out for the year, unfortunately for the Chargers. Kenny, the Dolphins beat Walter Football's #1 ranked team, the Bills, and yet he still has the Fish as a Group F team. Group F being horrible. Is that fair?
I don't. If you're psychic and you know exactly how they're going to play, if I knew for sure they were going to play the rest of the year the way they played on Sunday, no, they should not be a Group F team. But the fact that we don't know is an indictment on the coach. Like, listen, the way this team has played, we expect them to not be able to sustain that. And so I think that makes them a Group F. Like, that's what sort of puts them in the category where, like, this team hasn't proven that they can do that in any sustained fashion. But they did look like a legitimate offense on Sunday. So I will get to that, I guess, in a moment here. But they look legitimate, and if they do that, then that team's good. That's not a Group F team if they're going to play like that. We just don't know. That's a big if.
Yeah, definitely a big if. I got some flack for that because I have them like 28th in my power rankings or 29th, whatever it is. They stink. Come on, we're not that far removed from seeing the Ravens just destroy them the prior Thursday, or the Browns destroy them a few weeks ago. Like, this is still the same team. The Bills were just napping in that game. They didn't take them seriously. Ken McGinnigal asking, is Burrow going to help Cincinnati playing cornerback or safety? Besides, the offense seems to be fine with Flacco. Yeah, and look, I mean, I don't expect them to make a deep run in the playoffs with Burrow or anything, but he's still going to be better than Flacco. Like, there's no question about that. But the defense is still horrible. That's going to be the team's downfall. That's why I bet them not to make the playoffs this year. But I mean, obviously Burrow's going to help, right? I mean, like, unless he's super rusty coming back and he really struggles in like his first 2 games and they lose for that reason. But I feel like they're going to lose for the defense anyway.
By the way, I guess I'm a little confused what you said about Joe. When did Joe Alt go out in that game? I'm looking at Quinton Johnson's numbers. Like, in the 2 games, he's had more targets in the 2 games that Alt's been gone than Quinton typically has. So am I missing something?
Well, I mean, he was hot at the beginning of the year, and that's when he did most of his production. I don't know. He's had 1 down week, so I guess I don't know. The draw the straight line between Alt and that feels
Like I don't know. There's enough data to draw that conclusion yet.
They only had 9 catches in these 2 games without Joe Alt.
Yeah, but
And
he went. He had a game earlier when he had 2 catches. He had 0 catches. But he had targets. He's had 11 targets and or sorry, not what do you have? 6 targets and 10 targets. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess I'm not sure that I am as confident that it's definitely going to be McConkey going from here on out as the primary guy. McConkey's a better player.
I mean, you could just look at McConkey's stats whenever in those games. Like he's just so much better.
But it's such a small sample size. Like, is he so much better? Quentin Johnson got 10 targets, and they were legitimate targets. I don't know. I'm just pointing out the counterpoint. I'm not sure that I wouldn't be as down on Quentin Johnson just because Alt is gone.
Well, they're not quality targets. Like when Alt's on the field, Herbert can go like shoot downfield to Johnston. Like whereas now he's not making as many big plays. And like I can put up McConkey's game log here. So like the beginning of the year is like 6.541, and then when without Alt he goes 5, and then 7, 9. Like these are some of his best games, and then he goes 4 for 107, a touchdown against the Steelers. So. Like it makes more sense because he's running shorter routes. Like and Justin Herbert doesn't have as much time in the pocket.
Well, I just watched the Pittsburgh Steelers game, and Quentin John had 10 targets in that game, and they were quality targets. Like wasn't slop. So I'm just like, I don't know, like that a little luck here and there. That's totally different. So that feels like you're drawing a straight line that I'm not sure is accurate.
Yeah, but he's going more downfield with Johnston when Alt's on the field, and now you can't do that. Like he's going more intermediate with, like he can't hang in the pocket forever with no tackles.
He just threw good targets down the field to him this past week. He had 10 targets in this past game.
8.4 yards per catch. Like that's his lowest of the year.
That's per catch, not target. Like,
yeah, but if you're not completing the passes, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
It's a small sample size. Okay, yes, your opinion. The data doesn't support it. I'm just pointing it out for the people. I want the people to know. I watched those games, and in that game, Quincy Johnson had 10 targets, and they looked legitimate, and he was half a step away from getting a touchdown. And with a little bit of luck, the stats look. I don't think the reality backs up the narrative you're putting. That's all.
In terms of yards per catch, 15.8, 23.7, 14.8. Yeah. They are 3 of the 4 biggest of the year, and this is 15. It's only 2 catches. Those were with Joe Alt. Without Joe Alt, 12, 10, 13, 8. Herbert can't hang in the pocket with no.
Okay,
no
I'm just saying I watched the games, and that's not what I'm seeing with my eyeballs. It's a small sample. Football is such a small sample size that when you watch things happen, you go, well, like the stats tell a story. They go, but like they tell a story of what happened, but not necessarily predictive of what will happen. Like I'm not sure it's that simple. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's pretty simple. With no good tackle play, he can't hang in the pocket.
But I'm watching him hang in the pocket even though he's under pressure and throw the ball deep. It just like Quincy Johnson dropped one play, one gets batted away. Like it's like not fluky, but just like things that happen over the course of the game that was half a step away from being very different. So it's like that could have been very differently, which means it could be different in the next game. That's I just I with my eyeballs, it didn't seem the offense doesn't seem dramatically different. Certainly,
so much worse. It's so much worse.
So much worse. Okay,
can I tell you what they've done without Joe Alt? I know this off the top of my head. They lost to the Giants without Joe Alt. Then they got blown out by the Redskins. They lost 25-10 or 27-10 to the Redskins, 10 points against the Washington defense. Then they were a minute away from losing to the Dolphins. They needed to drive down the field and kick a field goal to the Dolphins. And then they got blown out by the Colts, which was they had a lot of garbage time in that game, but they were way down. They were down by like 3 touchdowns by halftime. And then they lose. They win by 7 against the Titans, the worst team in the NFL. And then last week it was kind of a slugfest against the Steelers until the Steelers gave up after that 4th down incompletion. That one drive the Chargers went 90 yards, and it looked like the Steelers gave up because they knew the game was over. That's what the Chargers have done without Joe Alt this year. It's like very, very unimpressive. Because they have no tackle play. Herbert's taking so many sacks. If you look like sacks per game, I wish I could pull that up. But like Herbert's taking so many more sacks per game without Joe Alt than he has with Joe Alt.
He's definitely under pressure way more without Alt. There's yes, 100%. I agree. Alt's a great player. it no doubt will impact their offense. I'm simply saying it will impact their offense. I just don't think that there's enough data to say we know exactly for sure how it will impact their offense going forward. I don't think there's enough data because while he's under pressure, he's still throwing the ball moderately down the field to Quentin Johnson. He just didn't connect this week, but it wasn't because he didn't have Joe Alt. Like, it was for other reasons. So, like, for other reasons, he didn't connect with Quentin Johnson down the field, but he was very close to connecting with Johnston down the field. So I think it's plausible or even realistic that he could connect with Johnston down the field in the next game or two, even without Alt. That's all I'm saying. So I wouldn't eliminate Johnston as quickly as you're seemingly doing it. That's all.
I think he's severely downgraded. I wouldn't like completely eliminate him from doing anything. Like, he could have a good game here and there, but he's going to be far less consistent if Justin Herbert doesn't have time in the pocket. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like the offense is like, yeah, it's like, yeah, you're saying like, yeah, he almost connected and do it like in every game without Alt, he has not connected, and it's like at some point you have to like think it's a trend, you know.
Not in a small sample size. Actually, you don't. I took statistics, so I know how that works. Like in a small sample size, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, but what constitutes San Diego is dead with what constitutes small sample size? Because this is a third of the season already.
I mean, I think in general, and I think it's part of the problem with the NFL drawing conclusions sometimes in fantasy football is that sometimes an entire season is a small sample size because you get so few targets in a particular situation. Like sometimes, like, man, if you only get so many offensive plays, like sometimes it's really hard to have a good sample size even over the course of a season. That's just the nature of the NFL. It's like, it's not baseball. It's not basketball. You have 82 games or 160 games. Like,
right.
There's just so few games. Sometimes it's hard to draw the conclusions.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that it's all going to be a small sample size, but I think that you could kind of predict what's going to happen. Like, it just use logic with having no time in the pocket. It's going to be a lot different. The offense is a lot different. We've seen it.
I mean, good. But but at any given, even though he's under pressure, I'm just saying, like, he's half a step away from being like next week he can still have 2 touchdowns. That's well within the realm of possibility. He could have 5 catches for 100 yards next week while Joe Burrow's on his back every other play. Like, that's still within the realm of possibility.
Yeah, but
so it's like, well, do I eliminate? I'm just saying, to me, Joe Alt being out downgrades the entire offense to some extent. Whether or not it downgrades Johnston more than McConkey, that feels like I don't have enough data to make that conclusion.
Oh man, I think it would. It's like, I don't know. It seems so obvious it would downgrade the guy who makes or plays downfield and the guy who's running across the middle of the field.
Okay, if that's obvious to you, I guess it's not obvious to me. I don't know. I know it seems obvious to you. I've seen plenty of bad quarterbacks while they're falling down and people in their face still throw deep balls up in the air and mediocre receivers score touchdowns. Like, I've seen that enough in my life to not eliminate Johnston, who I think is a pretty mediocre player, actually. I actually don't think he's a good player. That's the funny thing about it. Like,
yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I just think that, like,
I think you would a better player. Like, I would make that clear. So.
I think you would agree that Quentin Johnson is less likely to have big games without Joe Alt than with Joe Alt.
Well, yes, but I think that's the case for the entire Charger offense. Like, I think they're all less likely to have big games without Joe Alt because Joe Alt's a fantastic player, right? He's one of the best players pound for pound in the NFL.
Well, I just think that McConkey and Gadsden will be less impacted because they don't make their plays deep downfield.
Okay, I don't know that the data is going to back that up, but if you believe that, I'm glad to. People should listen to you. They shouldn't ignore me. I don't know. What do I know?
I don't know. It's just
I'm giving you a counterpoint. Going, I've just been around football enough to go. I don't think it always plays out that way. I don't think it's always that simple.
I just think logic dictates that. I mean, you guys can tell us what you think in the chat. I don't know. It just seems
logic dictates it, but logic, that's actually not how it plays out in NFL typically. Like, it's just not that. It's not that simple. Drawing a straight line sometimes doesn't work out that way. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like I've seen enough bad offensive lines to know that the receivers can't make plays downfield. You know,
I've seen a bad offensive line where they can't do anything. So, like, that's
sure.
I mean, that's also so. I guess we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Check back in a month.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still a small sample size, though.
It is. That's right. It's the nature. I mean, it's the nature of football, but it's also especially the nature of receiver, where like there's like 7 good receivers, and then there's like everyone from like 8 to 48 is all the same. It's just a random dart, and the random dart thrown any given. You don't know who's going to go off in any given week. It's kind of part of the receiver position.
London, Jefferson, or Buka? What do you think?
I think I'm still going London. I mean, he's been hot.
Okay.
Jefferson, I'm nervous, could fade down the stretch because, gosh, JJ McCarthy looks terrible to me right now. Like,
yeah, he sucks.
He's terrible. And he was better. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the injury made him rusty. I don't know what happened. McCarthy looks terrible right now to me.
Well, he only had that one good quarter. It's not like he played well. Like Carson Wentz played better than him, at least until he got hurt.
I know. I actually was convinced he was good early in the year, or I thought he was going to be. And I looked and then looking back, I'm like, actually, I don't know. You're right. I think it was just a quarter. I think I overestimated that one quarter. I think that's what happened.
I think everyone did, because everyone thought Minnesota was going to beat Atlanta week 2, and then they lost to Atlanta, and he got hurt in that game. And then he came back and was like okay against Detroit. Like, he wasn't like, he made some bad plays, some good plays. But last week he was bad. But Baltimore's defense is really good when they have everyone healthy. So I think that McCarthy has a good chance to be good this week against the Bears, because the Bears are down so many defensive players. Like, they're missing their top 2 cornerbacks. They're missing their middle linebacker, TJ Edwards. They got a lot of things wrong with their defense. So I think that I would consider him in DraftKings this week. There are better options, but I was like ranking. What I do on the side is I rank my favorite players by position, and McCarthy was he was one of the top quarterbacks. He was actually the 4th quarterback for me, just based on salary too. He's only 5,200. So, not that you know what DraftKings is. I'm just saying hypothetically. Drake London has clearly demonstrated that he's outstanding. Yet for some reason next year, if I saw him sitting there in the 3rd round, I'd probably still say, nah, it's Drake London. I feel like the same way. I feel like he just doesn't scream like upside, but he definitely has shown it though. And then 8 false starts, that has to be in the QB. No, yeah, the Vikings had 8 false starts in that game.
You know what I also think is funny and interesting enough is I have felt that way about Drake London, the last couple of years since he's been in the NFL. And I think I'm finally coming around that he's actually good.
Yeah.
Like, I watch him play and I'm just like, are you actually good? I can't tell if you're good.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder, is it just like maybe his body style is just like he just doesn't look fast.
Yeah.
Like when you watch him play, he kind of looks kind of like he's lumbering, but like, I don't know, but he's always open and he catches everything that's thrown him. So I guess he's good. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. It is weird. And it could be the quarterbacking as well. He's either had a decrepit Kirk Cousins or Marcus Mariota or Michael Penix, who's not great. He really hasn't had that sort of talented quarterback throwing to him. So that could be it as well too.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I forgot to mention. So we're doing this week 11 onward draft. So basically anyone who hasn't had their bye yet is off the table. This is a 4-week season. So if you haven't had your bye yet, that equates to 3.5 games missed if in a 14-week season. So how much do you downgrade someone who's going to miss 3.5 games? Is it like 3 rounds?
I mean, at least. Yeah. I mean, they're functionally off because someone's going to take them before that, so they're functionally off the board.
Right, like Jonathan Taylor went 102. Where do you take Taylor? I feel like it would have to be toward the end of the first round at this point.
He's having he might be the exception.
That's exactly why. Yeah,
he might be the exception. Everyone else, he's just it's been so on fire, man. I have him in 2 leagues. It was great. I mean, it was nice to be up by 75 points before lunchtime on Sunday.
It was.
It was great.
It was. I'm gonna say Judkins has been pretty solid.
Great.
I'm gonna take him as well. All right, let's get into these games while we wait. Although I'm gonna be coming back around pretty quickly. But all right, let's start with the Thursday game. It was Broncos 10, Raiders 7. Bo Nix was awful in this game. His footwork was terrible. It looked like Sean Payton didn't really take the game seriously. Like he was doing a lot of trick plays. Like he thought he could just beat the Raiders, but the Raiders almost won. Ashton Genty is catching passes now. He caught 3 passes. He's been doing that sort of deal the past few weeks, which is nice to see. Brock Bowers only had 1 catch, was really surprising to me. But yeah, I don't. Also, J.K. Dobbins got hurt toward the end of the game, so it could be R.G. Harvey season going forward if Dobbins is out. So, any thoughts on this game?
This is a remarkable game. I'm gonna give you a stat that I just can't even believe is true.
Okay.
The Denver Broncos had 13 offensive drives in this game. 13. What if I were to tell you 8 of those 13 ended in 3 and outs, and 2 of those 13 ended in turnovers? What if I were to tell you that 10 of their 13, Walter, do you hear what I'm saying here? This is unbelievable. 10 of their 13 drives ended in either a 3 and out or a turnover, and they still won the game. That is that is unreal. Only 3 of their drives ended in something other than a 3 and out or other than turnovers, and they only scored on 2 of those 3. And that was enough. It was enough to score. It was enough to score on 2 drives. 10 points was enough to win. That was one of the worst games I've watched in a long time. That was it was terrible. Interestingly enough, it was the same final score of last night's game, the Monday night game, and yet the Monday night game was actually entertaining because it was actually good defense, where Thursday night was just decrepit offense. And so like the NFL should refund every person who attended that game. I should get a rebate check in the mail from the NFL for having watched that game. No, I don't think there's any lessons to be learned from that game, to be honest. On either side, I think we know what to expect. What they expect is the Raiders suck, and so all their offensive weapons are going to be inconsistent. If you have Brock Bowers, you have to start him because you drafted him so high. It's one of the reasons why I hate drafting single position players in fantasy football that high. Like quarterback, tight end, you only have one, and you draft them so high, you feel obligated to start them because you've invested so much draft capital.
Yeah. I
hate that. I think it's it's one of the reasons why I hate drafting those guys so early. I think that Ashton Genty, like he went at the bottom of the second round here in this DraftKings draft you're doing. Yeah. I don't think I'd take him there. I don't trust the offense. I don't trust the quarterback. I don't trust the coach. I wouldn't want him in that spot. So I don't trust anything. I don't trust that team. The Broncos are 8-2. And is this the worst 8-2 team we've ever seen? Maybe. I'm not. I don't remember. My memory doesn't go back that far because I've done some. I've drank some liquid that kills brain cells in my life. But this might be the worst 8-2 team in NFL history. I can't believe they won 80% of their games. It's remarkable.
Yeah, but Kenny, I don't know if you heard this, but Zero IQ Mike Florio put the Broncos number 3 in his power rankings. So clearly you're wrong. And
didn't he go to law school? Isn't Mike Florio a lawyer by trade? Like, how?
Yeah,
like, but whatever school he went to should be ashamed of themselves. Like that they didn't let him graduate.
Yeah, but it's like one of those like Franklin Bash like law schools where he's got a fake law degree, I'm sure. Or he imagine like clown law or something, like defending like those clowns who appear in the children's birthdays. I don't know. It doesn't seem like legit that he got there. Like he might be the dumbest lawyer of all time.
Like
Joe Flacco 412, by the way. What the hell's that?
Oh, that's.
I mean, this Jay Grizz guy is going for the Bengals stack. Little does he know that Joe Burrow's coming back soon.
Maybe he'll draft Burrow later, and
maybe. I kind of want to draft Burrow now to kind of like foil him. Don't draft Joe Flacco at 412. I don't. The one thing here, like I was saying before, Genty's catching more passes. Let me pull this up. So he caught, small sample size, obviously, but it's since the bye. Figure like at the bye week, they're like, oh wait, let's get Genty more involved in the passing game. 5 catches, 5 targets, 5 targets. That is more than any other game except for this one, that 40-6 blowout game. So it seems like they're getting Genty more involved, and it kind of makes sense because Jacoby Myers got traded too. So like someone needs to catch more passes. So I could see Genty being decent down the stretch, but 210, I don't know. I could get into it, but I'm not like crazy about it either.
No.
Um, so
If you are heavily, I guess here's the lesson I want to learn from those two games. If you are heavily relying on any of the offensive weapons for the Raiders or the Broncos, that's highly risky. That's even the good, even Cameron. Like I love Cam Sutton, like Cameron's like or Colton Sutton. He's awesome, But I just relying on those guys down the stretch, I think is a really bad idea.
yeah. A bunch of running backs went. I was hoping to get like Montgomery or Marks on the way back, or even Harvey because Dobbins. I'm not going to take Harvey, but as the week 12 bye, but or even Swift. But all the running backs have disappeared. So kind of regretting taking Devontae Smith at 404. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I can get Aaron Jones at 509 because he's doing stuff now. I don't like the committee.
He's
but
their primary ball carrier now again.
yeah, until he gets hurt again, which is like his MO. He's always injured, which is it's so hard to trust him. But I did want Chase Brown though, by the way, because he's been more productive recently. Bucky Irving goes. This guy's timing out. Sam 17 hockey. So thanks for paying the rake, Sam. I'm gonna make this pick here, and hopefully it is Aaron Jones. I'm gonna star him. I don't know about Kenneth Walker. He's kind of sketchy at this point. Okay, Sam Laporta went. I'm going to take Aaron Jones. So I got my second running back. So can breathe easily here. Okay, let's go to the next game. Our great Germany game at the exhibition game in Europe, 31-25. The Falcons led for most of the game. Daniel Jones had 2 strip sack fumbles. Looked like the Falcons going to win. Drake London was going nuts. For some reason, Sauce Gardner was not on him most of the time. That changed later in the game. Tyler Warren had a great game. Alec Pierce, you mentioned it last week, where Pierce is like doing more now than just being a deep threat. But this is the Jonathan Taylor show. 32 for 244 and 3 touchdowns. It looked like there was a chance that he could break the all-time record for single game rushing, and it would have been like kind of sad that it happened overseas if he did that. But any thoughts on this game?
Daniel Jones is starting to look like the Daniel Jones we knew in New York. Like he's starting to fade. He's being confused by the blitz. He's hurrying, and the Colts coaching staff, to their smart on them, they basically were like, yeah, let's just start giving the ball to Jonathan Taylor, and it was the Taylor show. Jonathan Taylor's awesome. Yeah, it's just great. Although, by the way, Jonathan Taylor statistically is having a better season than Saquon Barkley had last year. Like he's on track to have more yards from scrimmage and way more touchdowns than Saquon had last year.
Mm-hmm.
Is Jonathan Taylor legit in the MVP conversation for the NFL? Like, is that it feels like there's no quarterback having a great year, right? And Matthew Stafford, I guess, is probably the head of the line in my mind. But like Jonathan Taylor's been the NFL MVP in my mind so far.
Yeah. I think he's I published my top 5 MVP candidates of my power rankings every week, and he's in there. I think he's like number 4 for me right now, or number 3. I can't remember which one. But he definitely has to be there. Stafford, obviously, and then Mahomes or Josh Allen. I think like if one of those two teams goes on a run down the stretch and gets the number 1 seed, you have to consider them. Or what if Lamar Jackson runs the table and finishes 12-5? Like he's going to be in there. What about Drake May? Like he's having an amazing season.
He's having a great year.
Yeah, and the rest of the teams, like the defense is good, but it's like the rest of like that offense is like so underwhelming. Like it's like Stevenson or Henderson at running back. Henderson just made some good plays, but still, the receivers like Stephon Diggs was limping around the first 4 or 5 games. Butte got knocked out he was not available last week. Like Hunter Henry, like it's not like he has the number 1 receiver at his disposal either. So like he has to be in the conversation too. And like
May's been awesome.
Yeah. What if like Patriots are 8-2 right now? What if they finish 13-4 or 14-3 and they get the number 1 seed? Like you have to consider Drake May too.
Yeah, Drake May's having that. Yeah, he's having a great year. Yeah, I mean, I think in this game, the lessons learned for the Colts is Jonathan Taylor's awesome. He's on. They're obviously they're on bye this week. Start him up. Alex Pierce has become functionally their number one receiver, and like if you've got him, start him. If you don't have him, you could potentially target him in a trade. He might be under. I think it's easy for someone to own him. They think like, oh, this is fool's gold, and maybe they want to dump him. Tyler Warren's awesome. I think he's the number one tight end. I think for the rest, he's tight end one for the rest of the year, probably in my mind. As long as Daniel Jones doesn't completely self destruct. Yeah, Michael Pittman. I don't know. I don't know if I want Pittman in the starting lineup right now. I'm not sure about that. And I don't want Josh Downs on my roster at this point. Like, there's no upside with that guy.
No.
The Falcons, Drake London, you're starting him. No, I don't want any other receiving option there. I don't want the tight end. He sucks. I don't want the quarterback option unless you're in a 2 quarterback league and you're desperate. Then you can put Penix in there, but it's too inconsistent. And the running backs. Obviously, if you have Bijan, you're starting him, but man, Tyler Algier is getting significant red zone carries, and that just like I think I saw someone on Twitter this week. They were like, "Oh, like Bijan's not as good in the red zone." That's what they're giving Tyler Algier the carries. I'm like, I don't know. Have you watched him play? He's freaking awesome. Shut up. Like Bijan Robinson's awesome all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know why the coaching staff likes Tyler Algier. Like for whatever reason, they trust Algier. Maybe they just want to give Bijan, rest. They want to keep him healthy. They want to I don't know the reason. I just know as a Bijan Robinson owner, I own him in our league. I hate it. It drives me crazy. Why are those touchdowns not going to Bijan? Like, but Tyler Algier is a legitimate threat. And I think he's even like a low end flex start on his own accord at this point. Like he's getting enough touches where it's like,
Yeah.
if you've got bye weeks still or injury concerns or you got issues at running back or flex, like Tyler Algier is not a terrible dart throw.
Yeah, he's like the perfect RB4 in best ball. Because like you don't have to worry about starting him, and he's gonna have these random games where he scores 2 touchdowns. He's just gonna make your lineup. It's awesome. So I am on the clock right now, and I noticed a certain running back has not been taken, Zach Charbonnet, so I will take him as my 3rd running back. And so now I have 3 running backs, 4 receivers. This guy, by the way, took Eagles took Jalen Hurts round 4, Drake May round 6. So not sure about that strategy to take two quarterbacks in the top 6 rounds. It's not like May's amazing value either because he hasn't had his bye yet. So he only gets it for 3 games. Let's see. Hold on. Wait, great pick on the Steelers, Walter. Do you have any other winners like that one? Yeah, I had another great winner. We took the Broncos on Thursday. So you might, I don't know if you can time travel, you can bet that one again if you hadn't in the first place. So you can do that. And then also as a bonus, I'm going to give you a bonus pick. Also take the Browns minus 2.5. I guarantee there are going to be no special teams touchdowns going against you in that game. Seriously, I had a great week. I won like 12 units. I'm certain the gambling industry was thrilled by your Steelers pick. I don't know. I mean, the sharps were on the Steelers to start the week, but then some other sharp money came on the Chargers. I have my record posted on covers. Yeah, I'm sure that's legit. Is Walter's show for the gambling industry? Does he get any money from them? I do. I love that people say that about me because it's like I wish that'd be awesome. I wish I could get money from the gambling industry. That'd be great.
You're the biggest shill I've ever met.
Yeah, right. Yeah, although all of those ads on the site come from the gambling industry. So
that's
so
right.
great.
That's right.
All right, I gotta make a pick here. I don't have a quarterback yet, and they're gonna start Jared Goff. I don't see anyone better. Rashad White, no. Spears too early. More Dobbs, meh. I don't think so. Shane Wilson's out, but he would have gone anyway. And tight end, no, I'm going to take a Jared Goff. He's okay. I don't really like him this week anyway. But this is best ball, so we're going to go with 3 quarterbacks as usual. He was up 12 units on the week. Yeah. I mean, we had a great week. It's like the wrong week to talk trash. It was like the one. I made 2 bad picks: the Broncos and the Steelers. you know, I
How dare you? How dare you not be perfect?
my mistake with the Steelers was I was right on with the Justin Herbert not having protection, but I just underestimated how bad Pittsburgh's offense is going to be against the Chargers defense. Chargers ranked 6th in defense. I thought it was going to be like a low scoring game. The Steelers might win or like lose by 1 or 2. I thought that would be close. And it was close for a while, but then the Steelers gave up. Like when I said before, when the Steelers went 4 and out in the red zone, and then the Chargers had that quick 90-yard drive. Like the Steelers defense is like, we're done. So it was close for a while. And the Steelers for like 2.5 to 3 quarters looked like they had a chance to cover. So I thought the Broncos pick was worse. If you want to nitpick, I think the Broncos pick was worse than the Steelers pick. Anyway, let's get to the next game, which is Saints 17, Panthers 7. So Tyler Shuck, is this legit? 19 to 27, 282, 2 touchdowns. The Panthers kind of in the same spot. I guess like the Falcons were in earlier in the year when they played at Carolina. Carolina was coming off the win against Green Bay. Looked like they were, just to quote you, smelling themselves, and they just didn't show up for this game. Bryce Young looked awful. Kamara had a nice game, and it's worth noting that this is only the second time all year that the Saints played a game against a below average opponent. I mentioned Group A through Group F in my power rankings. Outside of this game, the only other time the Saints played against a team worse than Group C was against the Giants, which they also won. So not a surprise to see Kamara have a good game against a bad opponent. So what are your thoughts on this game?
I do not believe that Tyler Shuck is legit. So do not go out of your way to start him or bet on him or rely on him. The offense was was he better than Spencer Rattler? Probably a little bit in this game. But I don't know. The Panthers looked terrible and they looked disheveled in this game, but on both sides of the ball. So it's hard to know. Was it the Saints were playing better because they had Shuck, or is it because the Panthers just were being the Panthers? I don't know. Like it's hard to pierce to kind of parse that out. Kamara looked good. He had a couple moments where he got protection, and anyone who's saying that Kamara's lost a step, I'm like, he looks great. The offense sucks. So, so I think there'll be moments where he still has great games. I have him in 1 league or 2 leagues. I haven't started him in several weeks and probably won't because sorry. I have better options in both of those leagues. So he was going late enough where I don't have to rely on him, and thankfully. So yeah, I don't know that there's really anyone. I mean, I don't think there's anyone on the Saints that I want to be relying on. Olave had a great game, but it could be so up and down. It's hard to rely on that. And I don't think there's anyone on the Panthers I really want to rely on either. Ricky Dowdle, like, I don't know, man. He people they're talking about how great he is. I don't know. I just don't see it. He's a power back. He's fine, but Chuba Hubbard was getting some looks again in this game. The Panthers are doing this weird. They're not weird, but they're doing like the whole series thing. It's like Dowdle gets a series to himself. Hubbard gets a series to himself. So they're giving like Dowdle's getting 2 series. Hubbard's getting 1. Dowdle's getting 2. Hubbard's getting 1. That's kind of like the rotation. And I could see that. Yeah, I don't know that I want to trust any of these guys. So the lesson learned for me is I don't want any of these guys in any of my lineups. And if I were a gambling person, which I'm not, but if I were, I would not want to be gambling on either one of these guys, either one of these teams.
Yeah, it's probably, unless they're playing other bad teams, that's when you can do it. I feel like you don't really need to. We did bet the Saints at 5 plus 5.5 something. There's another one of our 2 of our 12 units that we won this past week, and Tom and I had them on our super contest card. Or I guess Circa Millions card. We had the Saints plus 5.5 just because it was a bad spot for the Panthers, and we thought that like the Saints had played competitively against like their sort of competition, whereas like it's kind of crazy how many tough games the Saints have had this year. If they kind of like go through the schedule, like they played the Bills, they played the Rams, they played the Niners when the Niners were healthy, they played the Patriots, they played the Seahawks, they played the Buccaneers. Like so many tough teams they've gone against, and now they had like a reprieve against Carolina, and you could see that some of their players did better. So By the way, this guy doubled up on Tennessee running backs. Good strategy there. Just why would you do that? I don't mind Spears because he catches passes, but like Pollard just seems like so irrelevant now. Now that Spears is back. Last word on this game, and this only applies to best ball going forward. Devon Vele is my favorite 20th round guy because what's his name? Rashid Shaheed is gone. And so he's kind of like the receiver 2 now, sort of. And so he got 3 targets. I think that he could have like a somewhat decent game here and there for a 20th rounder. I mean, you're never going to play him in regular fantasy, but I meant to star Jordan Love here. Anyway, I'm just saying if it's for a 20th round best ball, it's kind of, you can't really do much better. Anyway, let's get to the next game, which is Texans 36, Jaguars 29, which is really 30-29 before a touchdown on the last play, which I was just laughing when that happened. I was just cracking up because we had that go against us in the Rams Eagles game, and this one is like, I had 1 unit on Houston -1, and it's like I could imagine someone emailing me like, "Oh, look, something went your way once." I'm like, "Well, 5 units versus 1," But anyway, Davis Mills, 27 of 45, 292, 2-1. Great fourth quarter. And Houston was down because there was special teams nonsense going against them. And so nice comeback. I think my big takeaway though, Woody Marks, 14 carries, Nick Chubb 5. Is this the end of Nick Chubb finally? Like, we've been waiting for Woody Marks to take over. It's possible this could be the end of Nick Chubb and Woody Marks just goes forward with the job. I think that could be true. Nico Collins, despite Mills, 7 for 136. Schultz, despite Nico Collins, 7 for 53 and a touchdown. So that's encouraging to see. For the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence continues to suck, 13 of 23, 158, 1-1. And it's a tough matchup, but he's been so underwhelming this year. Jacoby Myers led the team in receiving. And it was announced today, I don't know if you saw, Travis Hunter officially out for the year. So any thoughts on this game?
In the Houston side, the running back position is a mess. Woody Marks, like he's actually been like the primary guy, like in terms of snaps and like notable carries, but like it's been close. And so now it feels like there's a little separation there. But I don't think Marks is great either. Like he doesn't look amazing to me where I'm like super excited to have him in my lineup. And so if you're starting Marks, like I don't know, he's pretty low on my excitement list. The Nico Collins stat line is also interesting because it's kind of fugazi. Like, he caught a 60-yard pass at the end of the first half. Like there was a bomb they were trying to throw, and Davis Mills couldn't reach the end zone because he's a noodle arm, and so Collins got this like 60-yard catch that was like kind of like a waste. Obviously, if you have him in your lineup, you love it. Like you'll take it. It's great. You'll take the 60 yards. But like the way he amassed those stats, like that could fall apart quickly. And so these stats look way better than what the game looked. I guess that's the lesson I'm learning here. Like that's the lesson learned from the Texans is like the stats look better than the reality, which usually, not always, but usually that turns out to be like you end up getting like if next week Nico Collins has like 5 catches for 18 yards, like that wouldn't show. Like I watched that game and go, I don't know if I want Nico Collins in my lineup unless I have to. But you may not have other options. You might have to because like you drafted him so high that you have to roll with him. So that's probable. So I own him in one league where I also have Emeka Ibuka who I drafted late, and I got T. Higgins off the waiver wire in that league because for some reason the T. Higgins owner was angry in the beginning of the year and dropped Higgins, and I picked him up off the waiver wire. So I actually have 2 receiver options that I like just as much as Nico Collins or better most weeks. So I can afford to bench him, but most people probably can't in the leagues they own him. So I still don't know that I want Dalton Schultz in my lineup. I don't know that I would trust him. Like I just. By the way, I thought the Jags were favored in that game, so I thought they were like a 1-point favorite in that game. Am I wrong?
They were favored for most of the week, and then by Sunday morning, the Sharps came in on Houston, and it got pushed to Houston -1. Yeah.
So I when I saw that at the end of the play, I was like, oh, I guess it didn't really matter. It was didn't impact anyone, but maybe if anyone had if anyone had like Jags plus 1.5, I guess that would have told someone for that person.
Yeah.
And so on the Jaguar side, man, Travis Etienne actually looked good. I'm going to say nothing else because every time I say something good, he sucks. When I say something bad about him, he ends up playing good. So I'll just acknowledge he played good in that game, and Tank Bigsby's still better. Anyway, so I don't want anyone on that team. I have Brian Thomas in our league actually, and he's on my bench. And I won't be starting him. Probably, I don't know that I was starting for the rest of the year. Even with Travis Hunter out, I don't know that I trust anyone on that team. So the lesson learned is I don't think I want anyone from the Texans or the Jaguars in my rosters, on my starting lineup unless I absolutely have to. Nico Collins would be the only exception.
I'll say this: if you need a tight end, Brenton Strange, his 21-day window has opened up. So he, when he's available, he did pretty well this season, and now there's no Travis Hunter, so maybe he can do okay. But in the meantime, there should be better options. But we don't know when he's going to come back exactly. By the way, Woody Marks, his next 2 games against the Titans, who are 29th against the run, and the Bills, who are 26th against the run. So if he's going to take over for Chubb, if this is real, he should have 2 pretty good games coming up. Mm-hmm. And so enjoy it while it lasts. I don't know. Houston's, I think their end of season schedule is a little tougher than that, but I'm going to have to make a pick here. I don't have a tight end yet. And you mentioned before how you don't like Kyle Pitts. And I guess hopefully this stochastic guy, it doesn't take him. Not a big fan of stochastic these days, but Kyle Pitts has a very easy playoff schedule, and that includes against Tampa Bay. He just, for some reason, I don't know why, he always dominates Tampa Bay. He has his best games against the Buccaneers for some reason. So I don't mind him here in the 12th round. But I need 2 more tight ends too. Anyway, let's get to the next game, which is Dolphins 30, Bills 13. This is a complete no-show by the Bills. At least, I guess concentration-wise, they had just so many unforced errors in this game. Josh Allen fumbled, James Cook fumbled, both in Miami territory, and it didn't help that Buffalo's missing their top 2 cornerbacks and one of their defensive tackles and another defensive end, and Matt Milano is not healthy. This defense is a mess right now. I think there's a good chance that by the end of the year, when everyone's healthy, they could be a lot better. But right now, that's not the case. Making matters worse, Dalton Kincaid got hurt in this game, so that's why I drafted Khalil Shakir where I did. I think it was the 604 because without Kincaid, Shakir is going to get more over the middle of the field. So anyway, like I said, I think the Bills will rebound this week against Tampa. The Dolphins had a great game here statistically. Achane 174-2. And then Jalen Waddle, nice game. Achane 651 through the air. It's kind of crazy that they only have 3 guys with more than 9 receiving yards. So that's the Dolphins for you. So any thoughts on this game?
The Dolphins looked legitimate in this game, which is strange to say out loud. They looked like they actually belong, and they look good. That the offensive line was good. Tua was sharp and efficient when he needed to be. Play calling was good. And they relied on Devon Achane. Devon Achane was freaking awesome in this game. I guess he was explosive. He's everything you want him to be. Jalen Waddle is getting enough targets and being used. You could start both of those. Based on what you saw in this game, it's you could start both of those guys with confidence. You can't start anyone else. Obviously, there's no one else on that team that's worthy of starting. Do I trust they will? Do I trust they will remain good? I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Going into this week, I'd start both of them with confidence and hope. Just keep your fingers crossed. I guess that's the way to think about it. Because it was legitimate. It wasn't Fugazi. It wasn't fluky. Those guys look good and the offense look good. And these are the moments where I just go what the heck is what the heck is this coaching staff been doing? What has this coach been doing? Maybe he didn't smoke coke this week or snort coke, whatever people do with coke. I don't know. I've never done coke. I mean, I've done Coca-Cola. That's about it. I don't know. Maybe I don't know, man. whatever happened in this week in Miami that didn't happen the weeks before. I don't know. It's weird to know. On the flip side, the Buffalo Bills, like James Cook is awesome, but he was not great in this game. He looked good mostly, but he had just a couple dumb moments. I know part of that was the weather, but I don't know. It didn't seem to affect HN. So I think that was just Cook being dumb. I don't know. You chalk it up to have a bad day. He'll be fine, I guess. The receivers, I don't know, man. I don't think I want any of these guys because it feels like it's just a 1 week it's Keon Coleman, and the next week it's Khalil Shakir, and then maybe the next week it'll be some other random dude. Who knows? Like it just feels like there's no go-to guy on this team. And the offense just the passing game kind of feels broken. So Kincaid getting injured is a bummer. Dawson Knox, if you're desperate at tight end, I guess maybe you throw a dart at him. I mean, I wouldn't feel good about that, but if you're desperate, I mean, I don't know. It's probably better someone on your waiver wire than him. Yeah, I don't know. If I'm a owner of any of the Bills receivers or anyone on that team other than James Cook, like I don't know that I feel good about it. And I think it's another like Josh Allen not having like statistically the great phenomenal year that you would expect from a guy you drafted, in the whatever. Was he a second round pick in fantasy drafts this year?
Yeah, he's going like third in best ball, but he's going second in like redraft leagues.
Like Your Honor, may I submit to the court exhibit or evidence number 1,433 as to why you don't draft the quarterback early in fantasy drafts.
Yeah, unless there's a round 4 dead zone where there's no good players. That's like the only time I did that. I agree with you. I think I'd rather draft quarterbacks later than earlier. Of course,
I drafted Breece Hall in that dead zone, by the way, in all 4 of my leagues, and he's doing okay.
That was a good call. I think the Breece Hall was not I don't think he was in the dead zone. I think he was going a little earlier than that. Or maybe eventually he was in the dead zone, but like when we initially had that conversation, I think he was going like mid round 3. But then there was that narrative where he was going to share the workload and his ADP fell. So I think for a portion of the summer he was in the dead zone, but the other portion he was not. Because I initially was drafting him. But then that stuff came out about like, Braylon Allen's going to get half the workload, and like, that is the last time I will listen to media. That was a definite mistake. I need a second tight end. I also could use Shamari DK maybe. I don't know. It's really slim pickings here.
Side note about DK, I got a friend of mine who's in a league where they get points for return yards, which I think is so stupid.
Yeah,
that DK is like the 7th receiver in the league. He's like
that's crazy.
7th overall.
Well, in DraftKings, you get points for return touchdowns. So you get that at least. It's not bad. Yeah. Okay. Let's get to. What'd you say?
I said I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the next game. Ravens 27, Vikings 19. We already talked about McCarthy. He didn't complete half of his passes. This was a tough matchup for sure. The Ravens, since they got everyone back, they're 7th in defensive EPA. So they're the kind of things are back to normal. You mentioned Jones getting more of the workload, 9-4 over Jordan Mason. So rest in peace to anyone who drafted Mason in the 3rd round of onward drafts. Jalen Naylor, 5 for 124 until touchdown. Do not add Naylor based on that. It's so fluky. Jefferson and Addison. Jefferson had double the targets. Addison had almost double the targets. Jones had as many targets. Don't draft Naylor, or don't pick up Naylor rather. For the Ravens, kind of like underwhelming stat line. Minnesota's defense has also been really good lately because they got Andrew Van Ginkel and Blake Cashman back from injury. So not a surprise to see this being a close game. It's really the Vikings fumbled the kickoff return to start the 3rd quarter. It's really made this game go Baltimore's direction. So any thoughts on this game?
On the Ravens side, their offense is starting to look like productive again. Like they don't look as bad, but they're still not clicking on all cylinders. If you have Henry, like you're starting him because it's like, well, like eventually he kind of gets there. It's ugly, but if you own if I own Zay Flowers, the offense is so inconsistent that like like I mean, I have Zay Flowers in one league, maybe in two leagues actually. Uh, like I don't know, like I don't love it. Like you might have better options. Like I don't know. It's hard to like. I don't want anyone else in that roster on my in my lineup right now. Uh, and yeah, it's hard. It's hard to know. Their defense is it has been decent as well. So like like they're not having to do crazy things on offense. So yeah, Zay Flowers, like he's got 4 catches for 75 yards in that game. It's just like not quality targets. Like there's a lot of like low percentage passes going to him, and it's just like the offense doesn't look sharp. So I don't know. It's hard to know what to do, but I don't know. It's hard to bench him as well. It's just hard to know what to do with the guys some weeks. The Vikings, yeah, you're right. Naylor, very fluky. Jones is the primary ball carrier. He got twice as many carries, but I think he got 3 times the number of snaps. And I think he ran Aaron Jones ran 10 routes, got 6 targets. Mason is like non-existent in the passing game. So as long as Jones is healthy, he's clearly the guy again. Jordan Mason, rest in peace. Rest in peace. 30% of my fab that I spent on Mason in one of my leagues. So whatever. You take your shots sometimes. Yeah. I think the lesson to be learned from this game is JJ McCarthy sucks. And until further notice, this offense is going to be depressed because of that. And similar to what we saw with Kyler Murray, it wouldn't surprise me if we all of a sudden JJ McCarthy comes down with some injury in the next week or two.
Oh, who's going to take over though? Is it Bremser, whoever it is?
I don't know.
They don't have a Brissett though. That's the problem.
I mean, I think maybe they just roll with Wentz. Like I don't know. Like
he's out for the year.
Oh, he's out for the whole year. I thought it was just a couple weeks.
I don't know. I thought he was out for the year. I could be wrong about. Maybe
maybe I missed it. I thought he was just a few weeks. So I was implying that when Wentz would be ready, that all of a sudden JJ McCarthy would come up down with an injury. But maybe Wentz is out. And I didn't realize that. Sorry.
Yeah, Carson Wentz is out for the rest of the season. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, they don't really have an alternative. I'll say this, McCarthy sucks, but in fantasy, 5 carries, 48 yards. That's that'll do it. I drafted him as my third quarterback. Hopefully against better matchups, he'll do something. Because fantasy wise, if you look at his numbers in his 2 games back, 19.9, 16.7, I will certainly take that from my third quarterback. But in real life, he stinks. I need to make a pick here. Mason Taylor's still available. I'll take him as my second tight end. So with Garrett Wilson out, Taylor's just going to get all the targets. Okay, so next game we have, speaking of Taylor, Jets 27, Browns 20. So this was really tilting because I bet the Browns minus 2.5. Not only that, but I bet Jets under 19.5 points. And they got 2 touchdowns on kick returns. So they really should have scored 13. Like this offense had done nothing all game. It feels 6 of 11, 54 yards. Like, what is that? Hall had a nice run for a touchdown. Otherwise, he's bottled up. Hall also the only player over 4 receiving yards. It's nice, really nice to see here. And then Judkins, 22 or 75. The Jets were stacking the box because Gabriel is awful. I said that I said on a video, I said Gabriel couldn't even start in the CFL, which is it's half joking, but kind of serious. He's so bad. He's so bad. He not only does he get nothing downfield, he also it does not know what's happening. His pocket awareness is awful. There's really nothing going on there in his head. He stinks. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think about this game?
I mean, both of these offenses were terrible in this game. And so it's hard to I mean, Breece Hall is awesome. He's going to be limited because the offense is limited, but he's still worthy of being a starting player. Mason Taylor, if you're desperate for tight end help, he's going to have some up weeks potentially. But I wouldn't be excited to start him either. Yeah, everyone else on that roster sucks. Justin Fields, it seemed like there were weeks where he potentially could save himself with the rushing, but that's inconsistent too. And so, yeah, hard to trust anyone on that team. The Browns defense, by the way, is just legitimately good. They have a legitimately really good defense that is totally being wasted.
Mhm.
Um, if they had like a mediocre quarterback, like not even good, just mediocre, um, like that team would be like that team could like that defense could carry them. Um, but their offense is terrible because of that, and so they have no yeah, they just Junkins is good because he's good and he's getting all the volume. It seems like he's going to be the primary guy. And there's no other, no other options. So I mean, he's got, as you say, 22 carries. He's really the only quarterback or only running back of note. In the passing game, it's just so inconsistent. I don't know that I trust anybody. I like Jerry Jeudy as his stat line this past week looks good, but like next week he could have 8 catches for 100 yards, or he could have 3 catches for 38 yards. Like I don't want that in my lineup. If you're desperate, like I guess Jeudy as a flex play or as a wide receiver 3, I guess is okay, but I'd be trying to look for other options if I could. Other than that, the rest of that team sucks, and I gotta just wonder, like, why don't you just give Shakur Sanders a shot at this point? Like, you've seen Dylan Gabriel. Is it just a PR stunt? Like, they would look too stupid, but because they drafted Gabriel so high that like they have to stick with him. Um, or like I heard like Deshaun Watson is starting to like practice again. Like are they gonna actually like give Deshaun Watson a chance to come back at the end of the year? Like, I why not give Sanders a shot? Like who like just whatever. Like it can't be worse. What are you doing? Give the kid a shot.
I agree. I actually heard I heard a report or read it somewhere that the owners they want Shador to start, but Kevin Stefanski said no. So there's kind of an impasse there right now. It's Kevin Stefanski who doesn't want Shador Sanders to start because Stefanski wanted Dylan Gabriel, but he did not want the team to draft Shador. That was an ownership move, and so he's taken like a hard stance against it. So I don't. Someone's going to cave at some point, right? It's probably not going to be the owners. I
Yeah, you're
don't.
the boss. Eventually,
Right.
you get yeah.
Yeah, you're like, no, no, boss, I'm doing things my way. It's like, okay, like you're not going to be here for much longer. I think if Gabriel has one more awful game, I think it's gonna be Shador time. But I don't know. I'm gonna take your boy Keaton Mitchell, by the way. I think yeah, I think Stefanski could be on his way out. So anyway, let's get to the next game here, which is Patriots 28, Buccaneers 23. There was some rain in this game, and May had a slow start, but then he got he caught fire and had some deep passes to Kyle Williams and Mac Hollins, and Trayvon Henderson had touchdown runs of 59 and 69 yards, 55 and 69 yards, with no Stevenson here. The Buccaneers, Ibuka looked great. Tez Johnson caught 2 touchdowns. I played him DraftKings. It was nice. And then Kate Otten, great game again with no Godwin. Like that's Otten's job over the middle of the field. And the running game is interesting because Sean Tucker outgained Rashad White. And Tucker, I saw like people are hyping him up as an ad candidate for waivers, and I'm like, well, I don't know. Bucky Irving's gonna be back sometime soon, and I don't know if Sean Tucker is guaranteed to get more carries than Rashad White again. So I feel like a lot to discuss here. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, Emeka Ibuka, just what a great draft pick, great player. Baker looked, is good. This offense looks decent, and this team is a formidable, could make a formidable run. I think the running game is hard to know to make sense of that. Yeah, it's about this game was sort of a 50-50 split between him and White. I don't know when Bucky Irving's coming back though. I feel like everything I read, it just seems ambiguous. So if you're desperate for running back or you have a situation like maybe Tucker's a guy to worth, if you have any fab left for some reason, or you have the number 1 waiver wire, like I think take a shot at him. You see what happens. If you're in a tough spot, like I wouldn't expect much, but yeah. But you don't know when to start him. Like, I don't know. It's part of the problem. So yeah, Tez Johnson, I have in one league. I like him. I think he's a decent player. Not amazing, but yeah, I think he's a nice upside play some weeks. So You could do worse. At receiver, Patriots, by the way, man, Drake May looks awesome. As you said, he's a little slightly slow start, but he's been great. He looks better to me right now than what we saw from Jaden Daniels last year. And so, if you're going to ask me right now who is the best quarterback from the 2024 draft, the answer is Drake May. Number 2 would be Jaden Daniels. And then there's a gap between those two, and we could argue about the other guys.
Who would you take? Who would you take 3?
Mr. Fingernails. I think it's Caleb Williams is a 3rd, and then I would put Bo Nix 4th, and then JJ McCarthy right now is 5th. Like that's where he's at. Like
over Penix.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Penix. Penix would be 4th, I guess. Williams 3rd, Penix 4th, Bo Nix 5th, JJ McCarthy 6th. That would be my ranking at current time.
I think I agree with you.
I think May and Daniels are close, and then I think there's a gap between those two guys and the rest of the field. And so now Caleb Williams has the pedigree and the talent. Maybe there's still time for him, obviously. Mac Hollins being the primary ball catcher for the New England Patriots, not what I had on my bingo card. I would not expect it to happen. Mr. Backpack, Mr. I wear a kid's backpack to he's such a weirdo. Like,
he doesn't even wear shoes.
He's so strange, man. Like, why are people weird? Just weird. Anyway, he's strange. I mean, I don't know that I want any of the pass catchers in the Patriots. As Butte is the guy that I still trust. Pop Douglas was fool's gold apparently the week before. Stephon Diggs is fine if you're desperate, but I don't know. Like, you probably have better options. Side note: I saw a stat this week that I think you would love. Stephon Diggs has 3 touchdowns this year and 4 children born this year. So he has more children born in 2025 than touchdowns scored. So how about that for stat?
Is that quadruplets or is he getting
4
around?
babies? He has 4 different women he got pregnant this year.
Oh man, that 2049 draft class gonna be full of Diggs kids.
What? I don't mean to be crass. Like, do you guys know what a condom is? Like, I don't understand. Like, why? Like, or they just don't care. Like, what is wrong with these dudes? I don't understand. Why are you out making babies? Like, what is wrong? Like, it's just so stupid. I don't get it.
I don't know. I mean, look, Elon Musk said, we need more babies, and I think that they're following Elon Musk and like, oh, okay, that's
with 4 different women. Like, it's so stupid. Like, I don't like what. I guess if you're a multimillionaire and the kids are gonna have money, and I don't know. So I just they'll hire some Guatemalan nanny to raise the kids, I guess.
What is he doing Christmas? Like, is he like Fred Flintstone? He's like going to every party at the same time.
Literally, I saw that this way. Like, I saw someone mention like, oh, yeah, like there's 4 different women that are currently pregnant with Stephon Diggs' child. They're all expected to give birth. And I'm just like, in the near future, I'm just like, and he has 3 touchdowns. I'm like, he literally has more kids being born than touchdowns scored. Like this is unbelievable.
Oh man. Well, it's I don't know. I mean, we've seen that before.
You remember Travis Henry? Was that his name? The running back in the day?
The Bills, yeah. Tyreek Hill has how many kids does Tyreek Hill have? He's like 13 kids or something.
So I don't get it.
I don't know. Like I said, they listen to Elon. By the way, what is going on here? This guy took Malik Neighbors and Travis Hunter. He's not an auto draft because he would have been drafting already. This guy took where is he? He took Tyreek Hill. He was not an auto draft. This guy took Mike Evans. Evans might come back, but like he was not an auto draft. Like, I don't know what is happening at the end of this draft here. Guys are just taking these injured players. Travis Hunter, I guess he's going to time out, but if he was on auto draft, he would have drafted already. So I don't.
Maybe they don't know that those guys are out for the year. I don't know. I mean, I didn't realize Carson Wentz was out for the year, so I guess it happens.
That's true.
You can't make fun of that too much.
That's true. I need to make one final pick here. Do I take my 4th tight end, Tyler Higbee? No. We're looking at Trey. I mentioned Bailey, of course, Devon Bailey. Even though he hasn't had his bye yet, that's okay. That's the one guy I drafted who hasn't had his bye yet. So Going to review this team real fast. My receivers: CeeDee Lamb, Drake London, Devontae Smith. I like that at Clear Shakira. I like that foursome. Running backs: Judkins, Aaron Jones, Charbonnet. Quarterbacks drafted 3 guys here. You need 3 guys in these drafts because if you take a 0 quarterback, it's just the highest scoring position. Like you're really going to fall behind. So Jared Goff, Jordan Love, JJ McCarthy. I think between those 3 guys, going to have a high score one of these weeks. For depth, I took Trey Tucker because Jacoby Myers is gone, so someone has to catch the passes there. My tight ends: Kyle Pitts, Mason Taylor, Pat Fryermuth. It's fine, I guess. I took Isaiah Davis in case Breece Hall gets hurt, Shmurry DK, Manny Wilson in case Josh Jacobs gets hurt, Mitchell instead of in case Derrick Henry gets hurt, then Roman Wilson, Devon Bailey. What do you think about my team? Because it's going to win the $5,000.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Glad to hear it. Anyway, we had some questions here, by the way. Will you trade Tedero, McMillan, and Vidal for any of Hall, Judkins, Jalen Warren, Henry? Yeah, for sure. Especially because what's his face? Hampton's going to come back soon. Yeah, as he mentions. Yeah, 100%. Right.
For Breece Hall, absolutely. For Judkins, absolutely. For Derrick Henry, absolutely.
Yeah.
Jalen Warren, probably. But that was closer.
Yeah, I agree. It's all 4. Yes, Warren is the worst of the 4, but yeah, 100%. Should I drop Ayuk for Golden, Corum, Gainwell, Tootin, Chubb, Emmanuel Wilson, Sean Tucker? I mean, if you held on to Ayuk for this long, like, why get rid of him now? And none of those guys. I guess Corum is the one guy I'd have interest in, just because he's getting work. He's kind of like Algier. He's just getting work naturally. And what if Williams goes down? Like you're gonna have a league winner potentially. So I would rather have Corum than Ayuk. But like again, you held Ayuk for so long. Like you're gonna come now. It just seems like that. This is when he was supposed to come back. Like around this time,
Yeah, but he might not. So it's
might not.
Yeah. The right move would have been to cut Ayuk 5 weeks ago, but we're here. Yeah, I kind of agree. If you already hold them, like, I guess it depends on what your roster situation is. Like, if this is just like this is just like their last, your last bench spot. Who cares? I would rather have the upside running back on Quorum. Like Gainwell's no upside. Tootin probably doesn't have any upside. Nick Chubb, don't start him. He sucks. Manuel Wilson, no upside. Sean Tucker, a little bit of upside, but not much. Blake Quorum is like legit. Like if Kyron Williams gets injured, Blake Quorum is league winner type material.
Mm-hmm.
So none of these guys are really going to do anything for you. The only exception would be if Kyron Williams get hurt. Like none of these other guys have any real. If Woody Marks is out for the year, Nick Chubb's still going to suck.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Start one quarterback this week: Mariota, Rodgers, Geno, Tua. I guess Tua against the Redskins, right? It seems like.
Who do the Steelers play this week? They play the
Bengals, so it could be Rodgers too.
Ugh, the Bengals are terrible. That defense is terrible.
Yeah, and Hendrickson may not be back this week, so that's going to make the Bengals horrible defense already even worse. So Rodgers and Tua had the best matchups.
I think I go Rodgers there, but only because with Tua, that offense just like we just talked about it a moment ago. Like the offense looked good and legitimate this week. Like maybe right now the coach is out on a binger. Is that what they call it? A binger? I don't know I'm not even cool. I don't know what it's called. He's out smoking some dope right now. Who knows? Like I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, did you hear that? After the game, he drove by a Bills bar and taunted the Bills fans.
No, I did not hear that. What an idiot!
What is this guy doing? He's so weird. Do I drop Evans for the same people? Do I drop Mike Evans for those people? He included Judy this time and Godwin. Yeah, I would rather have Judy and who's Ollie Gordon, I guess. I'd rather have Judy and Corum more than Evans because like Evans, I don't think is going to come back to like week 16, 15, 16, 17.
He'll be useless to you by the time he comes back for fantasy purposes.
Yeah, so I'd rather have one of those guys.
Judy and Corum to me are much better than the other options.
Yeah. If you need receiver, get Judy. You need a running back, get Corum. I agree. My 3 leagues, my quarterbacks are Knicks, Dart, and Jones, Dak. Which league should I target? Joe Burrow, and how much fab? He's back week 13 actually. He's targeting. how much fat? Like how much fat do you have left? Like it's the end of the season. Just spend it all. There's nothing left. There's nothing left to do.
Yeah, I don't have any fab left in any of my leagues that so I don't. I'm
Yeah,
out. So yeah. If you need a quarterback and you want to target Burrow, like Burrow over Knicks, easy option, sure.
yeah,
Burrow over Dak or Daniel Jones, yeah, I'll take Burrow over those guys. Dart, like I don't know when Dart's gonna get back, and I don't know what the offense is gonna look like once he like with Dable gone. Like I don't know how much it'll change. I would be targeting Burrow over all those guys. If I had a bunch of extra fab, I wasn't gonna do anything with. Like I don't know. It depends on if you need it for some reason or if there's other options in your waiver wire. But like, yeah, Burrow is a better option than any of those.
yes, yeah, for sure. Yeah, don't save any fab. There's no reason to save fab. Just the season's over. Like it's almost over. So just go for it. Stephon Diggs will hire a Guatemalan nanny to take care of the babies and then impregnate her.
Probably.
What if there's like this chain where like he hires the nanny and gets her pregnant, and then he hires a nanny for that one and gets her pregnant, and then hires a nanny for that one and gets her pregnant. It's like ongoing. It's like Inception, nanny Inception that Stephon Diggs has. Speaking like a movie about that. Should I trade Jetta, that is Justin Jefferson, and Tracy for T Mac and Wandale?
T Mac,
No.
T Mac, who's
Terrell McMillan.
Oh,
No.
I didn't realize he was that cool. No, do not trade Jefferson. No.
Todd McCullough is T Mac actually. No, don't do that. Don't do that. All right, we have some more games left. I believe this is the last of the early games. Bears 24, Giants 20. What do you call them? The Mr. Fingernails. Sounds like a horror movie. Caleb Williams 20 to 36, 220 in the touchdown. This was a really confusing game plan by the Bears because they're playing the Giants run defense. Giants run defense is 31st in the NFL. And yet, like, this is not, you might be thinking, oh, okay, they were trailing. That's why they threw 36 times. They ran 20 times with Swift plus Monangai. Even when it was close in the first half, they were throwing way more than running. And I was like, you have this great advantage with your running backs. You're not utilizing it. So strange. Odunze had a great game. No one else did much. DJ Moore, I got banged up in this game. I don't know if he's going to be out for any sort of time. If he is, then Luther Burden will look better. So might want to consider picking up Burden just in case. For the Giants, Jackson Dart got concussed and they were leading. And once he left the game, things fell apart because Russell Wilson sucks. And yeah, Tyron Tracy, 14 to 71. Much different than last week when he got out touched by Singletary. So nice to see things getting back to normal without a Scatabo there. The receivers wise, like Slayton 4 for 89, that's not sustainable. I do like Theo Johnson. I talked to Theo Johnson all summer. I was drafting him late and in best ball all the time. 7 for 75. Glad to see that panned out at least. But he's like the only receiving threat, and he's only a tight end, so he's the only receiving threat the Giants have. Wandale 6 for 62. He's just a PPR scam. What are your thoughts on this game?
PPR scam.
Yes.
PPR is a scam, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't want any of these Giants players. I don't want there's not one player on the Giants that I want in my lineup at any position. I don't trust any of them. I didn't trust them with Dart in the lineup. I certainly don't trust them with Russell Wilson in the Dart. Also, why the heck do they not just put Jameis Winston in there? Like,
I don't know.
Unless they just want to not win games. That's the, they're being competitive, and then in the fourth quarter they get a phone call from up top, like, hey, remember you have to lose this game. It's like, and like Brian Dable's like actually trying to win, and that's why they fired him. Maybe, I don't know. Just like this, Tyron Tracy at 70 yards in this game, but like, it's just this team's so bad. You don't know what you're going to get from these guys. It's not worth it. None of these guys have any upside. It's going to be inconsistent. There's no one on the Giants that should be in your starting lineup. That's how I feel right now. On the Bears, like Caleb Williams, like actually the first two drives, actually, like he had some good moments. And then the last two drives of the game, he looked really good. In between, he was terrible. So like for the first few minutes of the game and the last few minutes of the game, he's like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Everything in between, he's like a bottom 5 quarterback in the NFL. Like, just I don't know what to make of this guy. They told me he was good. I don't know. It's weird. And this coaching staff, as you mentioned, like this game plan was so goofy. I don't understand it at all. It made no sense. So I guess if you win a game, that's all that matters. But gosh, the way you win it, like do I trust any of these receiving weapons? Like, okay, Dunze's stat line looks great, 6 for 86. And if DJ Moore is out, like, okay, I trust that more. But like 2 weeks ago, we saw Dunze get 0, and like just I don't trust it. Like Loveland, like okay, he had 55 yards again. Okay, great. But do I trust that he could like 2 weeks ago he had a good stat line, and then last week he sucked, and then he's like Luther Burden. I've been told by guys he's good, but like they're not using him. Like I don't know that I like any of these options. Dunze, I still want to start him because the talent's just so good. You can't sit him, but like even the running backs, I don't know that I love the running backs. Like, are you super excited for 80 yards from DeAndre Swift? Like, is that super exciting to anyone right now? Like, if you're in PPR, okay, like he gets 5 catches, okay, so like that maybe boost him in PPR, but like if you're a PPR, like I don't know, like is Swift your if he's your starting running your starting running backs, like yikes, that doesn't feel good. This team is not consistently getting into the red zone, and so it's Caleb Williams. Like until he stops sucking for most of the game, you can't trust the offense. So yeah, I think until further notice, I don't think I want to start any of these guys other than Dunze. And like DeAndre Swift, like I'm looking for a reason to start someone over him right now.
Yeah, actually, I started Monangai in our league. The reason for that, over Travion Henderson, by the way, and the reason for that,
full tilt.
Well, no, like extremely full tilt because the stupid Germany game. Like I'm working, I'm trying to write notes on the game while I'm trying to do my other normal Sunday morning stuff that I just forget. This is the 3rd time I forgot to set a lineup in one of my leagues because of this stupid European games, and I didn't check our league. Luckily, I still won, but I would have been the highest scorer that week if I played Henderson instead of Monangai, and we get money for high score every week. So,
right.
I was so angry. I was like, and I even knew it as soon as Henderson ripped out the 50-yard touchdown. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't play him. And I was like, who do I have instead? And I had like Monangai there. I'm like, oh my god, like I just forgot to do my lineup. Like so frustrating. I hate these stupid European games so much.
Yeah,
I hate
next
that.
week we have a Spain game, right?
Oh, yeah, so much fun. Can't wait. It's gonna be so different. I love how like NFL networks, they're like, for the first time, a game in Spain. It's like, what does it matter to us? We're just here watching the games in the same place anyway. What is like it's like when ESPN would be like Sports Center live from Los Angeles. And like, who cares? Like what does it matter? I don't care if they're in LA. They're not outside or anything. They're not talking to any Hollywood stars. They're just sitting in the same studio, same looking studio. It's stupid. Who cares where they are? I don't care. Anyway, let's have a Ukraine game. Let's do that. I'm just kidding. Actually, kind of serious. I think it'd be funny. In the middle of war zone. Rams 42, 49ers 26. This was 42-20 before garbage time. The Rams looked fantastic. Stafford, I can't believe this has never happened before, where a quarterback has thrown 4 touchdowns and no interceptions in 3 straight games. Now, it's a great feat, don't get me wrong, but like it's never happened before. Never happened with Manning or Brady or Warner or Elway or Montana. And this never happened before. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, and Stafford's the first one. Kyron Williams, 2 touchdowns, but 14-13 carries with Corum. We mentioned Corum already. The touchdown scorers were Adams, Nakua, Parkinson. And I swear, this speaking of tilt, every time a Rams tight end scores, and it's not Higbee, because you never know what the numbers. I always forget the numbers are. I see a Rams tight end score. I'm like, yeah, Higbee. And like, no, Parkinson or Allen or Ferguson. Like, come on. Because I drafted Higbee so much. They have like 4 freaking tight ends. Like, come on, man. Anyway, the Niners, they got good stats from Kittle and Jennings. You have to be mad about McCaffrey getting sniped by Robinson. McCaffrey had a good PPR game, but standard scoring game, not a good game. So any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of lessons to be learned. I mean, like McCaffrey's awesome. You're starting him. Kittle's awesome. You're starting him. Juwan Jennings coming back to life. And so I think he's a decent flex play, wide receiver 3 type play. Especially in PPR, I think he's a decent play. Although like you might have better options, but like I think he's a viable. Other than that, there's no one else. Mac Jones sucks. The stat line looks good, but he's terrible. This offense desperately needs Brock Purdy back. I can't believe that sentence just came out of my mouth. The Rams were clearly the better team, and the Rams on both sides of the ball look really good. They're getting better. They might be the best team in the NFL, top to bottom. The fact that the Eagles beat them early in the year is awesome, but as an Eagles fan, I love it. And the Eagles will now have the tiebreaker on them. So, if they played in the playoffs again, they would be in Philly. But, on a neutral site, I would expect the Rams to be favored in that game. Even in Philly, I might even expect them to be favored. I think they're the better. They might be the best team in football right now, top to bottom. Stafford's playing great. Kyron Williams is playing great. The offensive line is playing great. The receivers are great. The defense is playing great. The pass rush is playing awesome. So as long as Adams is healthy, he went out of this game and never came back, but they did say that he could have if the game was close. So the Rams were up in this game big. The Niners did kind of cut it to 7, and then the Rams went back up again immediately. So if you have Kyron Williams, you're starting him. If you're absolutely desperate for a flex and you could do worse than Blake Corum. You're starting those guys. The thing about this offense that I love the most is that there's not a great consistent third receiving option, which you would expect on a team that's this good, which means Adams and Nakua are going to get all the targets, which is awesome. So I love that. If you have Nakua and Adams, if you have either one of those guys, obviously you're starting him with confidence. Not much to learn other than I think the Rams are great, and Stafford might be the MVP.
Yeah, for sure. They have all those tight ends too. It's crazy. They play 4 tight ends, which is really tilting because I've been consistently betting against Seattle, the tight ends playing against Seattle. I'm betting on them because Seattle allows the most production to tight ends in the NFL. And so we had Trey McBride over, I think it was 62.5 receiving yards this week. He had 127. But I don't know who to play against them this week because they have 4 guys. They just don't do it, right? You could take a shot, just play over on all of them, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that'll work. But
I'd still take my chance with Higbee just because he's the best of the bunch.
Yeah, but it's like I said, it's Rams tight end catches the ball. Who is it? It's it's never Higbee. And then it's Parkinson scores. Come on, man, just go Higbee. He's your best guy. Anyway, speaking of Seattle, 44. It's 22. I wrote 24. It's 44-22. The Seahawks beat the Cardinals. This is 38-0 at halftime. So Seahawks took their foot off the gas. Sam Darnold only had to throw 12 times. Kind of crazy. Charbonnet and Walker both had 14 carries. What about George Holani scoring the second touchdown of the game? I swear the announcer said Charbonnet, and I'm Charbonnet in a couple of my leagues, and obviously drafted him a lot in best ball. And then it's oh, that's Holani. What? It's not even Walker or Charbonnet. Suddenly George Holani's getting targets or touches. It's come on, I don't understand. JSN 5 for 93 and touchdown, which is great stat line considering Darnold only threw 12 times. That's insane. McBride, we mentioned him. He went nuts in this game as any tight end does against Seattle. Nothing here from the running games. Arizona is just down big. I played Brissett, by the way, in DraftKings this week, and it looked bad in the first half. He had 1 point. And then he had so much garbage time stats that actually got me in the money. So what are your thoughts on this game?
On the Cardinals side, remember last week I said, hey, I suspect that Kyler Murray is going to get be on IR. And the next day, I'm they basically benched their starter, their big money quarterback, but without it's great cover for them, right? They can bench him without benching him.
Yeah.
Because he sucks. I don't think Brissett's good, but you can just tell they're just kind of done with Murray. I don't know if they can get out of that contract. There's so much money they're committed to him. I guess maybe they don't want they have to just the Cardinals ownership is not the ownership that wants to dump money. They're not the kind of ownership that wants to waste money. So, maybe they will. Who knows? But some owners are not okay with paying players to not play on their team. And some owners don't care because they're multi-billionaires, right? So who cares? It's not my money, I guess. Easy for me to say. Yeah, the rushing attack for the Cardinals, bunch of dreck. Is Trey Benson going to come back? Who knows? The only player on this team worth starting is Trey McBride. He's awesome. He's such a great player. Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison sucks. Marvin Harrison cannot get open. He had 12 targets in this game. He has 3 catches. He scores a touchdown, so he saves the stat line a little bit, but he's just, this guy's not good. And I don't, it's a disappointment. And he's skating by on his name. If his name was anything else, no one would care about this guy. But because he was a top pick and his name was Marvin Harrison, this guy, people treat him like he's good when he's not. On the opposite side of the field, the guy who's actually good, JSN, is freaking awesome. He's so good. Yeah, even in a game where the quarterback only completes 10 passes, he still has a great stat line. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp actually had a good game. He had 2 nice plays, one long one. He only had 2 targets. Again, they're not throwing the ball much, but 2 nice catches. One had a really great run after the catch. I'm like, whoa, okay, what a Cooper Kupp sighting. Anyway, yeah, if for some reason he's in your lineup, that was great, but that's probably not the ideal. Probably should not be in your lineup. So ignore that 74 yards. It was a nice play, but you shouldn't bank on that. If you have Charbonnet and Walker, if you have Walker, you probably drafted him too high to bench him. But yikes, you don't feel good about it's 50-50. They have the same amount of snaps, same amount of carries. Charbonnet gets the Walker had a red zone carry, didn't score. Charbonnet did have red zone carry, he did score. You're just if you drafted Charbonnet, you love it. If you drafted Walker, you hate this. Because it's because of where you drafted them, right? It's just So if you have Charbonnet, he's found money. Great. The Seattle Seahawks look legit. Top to bottom, their defense looks good. But I still don't believe in Sam Darnold. I think this team's going to turn into a pumpkin. And we saw it with Darnold last year with Minnesota. They looked great all year, and then when it mattered, it fell apart. And so I do not believe this team will be playing late into the season, no matter what they look like right now.
So, do you remember which team made him turn into a pumpkin?
Was it the Lions?
Well, sort of, but in the playoffs, I meant.
Oh, the Rams.
The Rams. I guess they play this week.
Oh, we'll see how it goes.
The Rams. Yeah, I'm curious if Darnold can exercise his demons or ghosts, I should say, because he said on Monday Night Football. Remember a long time ago, he's like, I'm seeing ghosts against Bill Belichick. I don't know. Maybe he can exercise those ghosts. We'll see. I can't wait to watch the game. I can't believe that game's at 4:05. It's like a throwaway 4:05 game. They put the best games at 4:25, and then sometimes there'll be a great game at 1 o'clock, and obviously Sunday Night Football. But they can't flex it in because they've Lions Eagles as Sunday Night Football, which is gonna draw more viewers because the Detroit and Philly obviously huge fan bases. But the 4:05 game seems so weird for that type of marquee matchup. It's so weird. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, Jay up saying a trade away Tyler Warren for Rico Doodle. My backs are Saquon, Brees, Rico now, and Harvey and Hunt. Should I pick up Otten or Fannin? Warren's on bye, so you need a tight end.
He traded away Warren for Doodle.
Yeah, right. Oh, he traded away. Right. Okay, so Warren's gone, so he doesn't have a tight end. He took Doodle. I'd rather have Warren than Doodle. But yeah, who should I pick up, Otten or Fannin? So Buffalo tends to be good against tight ends, and Otten plays against Buffalo this week, so I wouldn't expect much there. Fannin, although Baltimore's been good against tight ends too, so it's tough matchups all around. I think long term, I'd rather have Otten because I don't trust Chris Godwin to come back healthy. So I'd rather have Otten, but it's pretty close. It's super close to seeing those guys. Any leans there? Otten versus Fannin?
Yeah, your point on Godwin not coming back healthy is probably the the tiebreaker for me.
Hmm.
Um, so I think I probably go Otten over Fannin, but it's close. But also, are you sure that's your best option on the waiver wire? Like Otten's fine, but is there not anything better? I don't know. Part of me wonders if there's something better on your waiver wire.
Yeah, there could be. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, no offense, bro. I would not have traded Warren away for Rico Doodle. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Anyway, the last of the 4 o'clock games, Lions 44, Redskins 22. We had some nice announcing from Trump in this game. I don't know if you heard it. It's like
Yes.
that was like the worst announcing I ever heard. He's like, "Let's see what happens." He runs the ball. I thought we'd get something like creative, like they had the worst defense since Hillary was on stage. Crooked Hillary's the worst defense. I thought that we might get something like that, but it's such bad play calling. Anyway, Jared Goff, the Lions scored in every possession in this game, except for when they're running out the clock at the end. And oddly enough, Dan Campbell took over play calling. He had this like Mother Goose glasses on. He was like reading the chart. It looks so weird him doing it, but it worked. Jameson Williams, I think like he wanted to get Jameson Williams more involved, and like for some reason Johnny Morton couldn't do it, and like Jameson Williams had this great game. I mean, look, everyone had a great game for the Lions. Gibbs was awesome. I played him in that DFS lineup that I talked about with Brissett. Redskins, they're just a dead team. They got nothing going on. Treylon Burks was their leading receiver. Like it's things are pretty rough in Washington. Any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, on the Washington side, yeah, they're a Drek. I wouldn't want to start anyone in this receiving core. If you're desperate at tight end, Zach Ertz, is fine as a low end tight end one. Other than that, you don't want any of these receiving options. The receiving game is dead with Mariota. The running game is also deceiving. The stats because JCM was actually barely played into the fourth quarter. And so Chris Rodriguez was the starter. He got most of the snaps early in the game, and then he got injured. And then JCM came in and got a bunch of garbage time carries for the end of the game. So like it looks like JCM is the primary ball carrier, but if they're all healthy, it seems like the Redskins were going with Rodriguez. Of course, if he's not healthy going in the next week, that might be changes things. But like JCM right now is not he's not a starter, and so don't treat him like he's a starter. No one on this team really should be in your starting lineup if you can avoid that. And so again, if you're desperate at tight end, Zach Ertz. Other than that, ignore this team. Lions. Although the Jameson Williams thing you mentioned, he didn't get involved early in the game. It was mostly in the second half after they were up in this game, and so I'm a little annoyed because I think he's a great player. It's like if Jameson Williams played on a different team in a more conventional offense, like he would be. I think he would be a much better, more reliable player. I think he clearly has talent that we love, but like they just like they didn't prioritize him in the first half, and so that was a little bit strange. But then he was awesome in the second half, so you love that. So I don't know what to make it. Like obviously, if you have Laporta, he's a starter. If you have St. Brown, you're starting those guys. But if you have Williams, like, do you really trust him to be the starter? Like, I think I need to see it one more week. Like, we've just seen too many bad weeks from Williams this year. That makes me like, I love the stat line, looks great, but like, I don't know. I still am nervous to put him in my starting lineup. I have him in one league and I haven't started him in several weeks, and so he went off and that I'm looking. He's on my bench and I'm like, I don't feel that bad because like I don't trust it. What's awesome is the running game. Jameer Gibbs, awesome. David Montgomery, awesome. What I also love in this game is that like both Montgomery and Gibbs are like equal amount of snaps, equal touches, equal amount of like routes run. Like they're very much both a part of the running game or the offense. So they're awesome. You're starting them. Jared Goff looked good. If you have him as your quarterback, you could do worse. Yeah, against bad defenses, I love Goff as a guy to start. Against great defenses, like I think twice, but yeah, not a lot of lessons to learn from this. I still don't know what to do with Williams. And going into my fantasy playoffs, I'm not sure I'm confident. But if we see this, if Dan Campbell's going to call the plays from here on out, and Williams is awesome next week again, then I'll change my mind.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do with Williams in redraft. I don't have him in any leagues. What I do know what to do is just draft him in best ball because he's so good at best ball. You don't have to worry about starting
Right.
him. He has those spike weeks. You love those spike weeks. You want those. Yeah, I know. Definitely agree with everything there. There's also Hunter Henry, Theo Johnson, and Dalton Schultz, and Colson Loveland. Looks like so. I would lean toward. I mean, Schultz is doing a lot lately, and he has an easy matchup against Tennessee. So I like that. If Jackson Dart starts, I think Theo Johnson is worth considering. But it looks like it might be Russell Wilson, so I will not go there. And then Hunter Henry, he's going to score touchdowns. He's going to get fewer catches than Dalton Schultz, but I think there's a better chance he scores a touchdown. So it's between Henry and Schultz for me. What do you think?
In standard, I probably lean toward Henry. In PPR, I would lean toward Schultz. I think that would be my.
I feel the same way. I definitely agree. How do you think the Rams finish the season? Got Stafford to win MVP and win big. Well, congrats on that bet. The boss. What number did you get him at? Look, I have a future. I have a future on Rams to win the Super Bowl. I also have exactas with the Rams, with the Bills, Chiefs, and Ravens. So those pay out very nicely. So I'm hoping, sorry, Kenny, I'm hoping the Rams take the Super Bowl, or I don't care. I don't care if they win, as long as they get to the Super Bowl and play the Chiefs, Bills, or Ravens. I will profit well there. And I think you could certainly make the case of the best team in the NFL. In EPA, they rank second. They second in offense, third in defense. There are 3 teams in the NFL who are top 5 in both offense and defense. Kenny, can you guess who those are? 3 teams are? I already told you the Rams.
There's 3 teams that are both in the top 5 EPA
of offense and defense. Yeah.
Seattle might be in that mix.
Seattle is first in offense and first in defense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. Wow. That is, and then I guess the Colts.
Colts are 7th in offense, 15th in defense.
Oh, that's surprising. I don't think I realized that. Okay.
Yeah, but they might improve with Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, I don't know who that third team would be.
It is in the NFC as well.
Not the Eagles, obviously. I mean, no.
Eagles are 11th in offense, 10th in defense.
Yeah. Not the Packers, not the Buccaneers.
No, Buccaneers is 16th in offense, 7th in defense.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess
it's not the Packers, it's not the Lions. Probably I guess it could be the Lions.
Lions 5th in offense, 2nd in defense.
Wow. Okay. I guess I didn't realize that. For some reason, I thought the Bucs had better offensive stats than the Lions did.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of crazy. Yeah.
Too many old fashions on Friday night with my lady.
No, the Lions look good. I wrote them off because they lost both coordinators and they lost linemen. Although the line is a concern, I think, because they lost one of their guards. I don't know if their tackles are healthy. Like Sewell left the game, and then he didn't miss much action. He came back, but I don't know. It feels like if one of the tackles goes down, I think the things could go awry for them, and they need to play at home because the weather conditions could be bad. It could be raining in Philly, by the way, Sunday night, which would be great for the Eagles because Jared Goff has a long history of doing poorly in rainy and snowy conditions. So you got him 50-1 on Stafford MVP. Nice bet. That's awesome. Sign the Rams, and the most important MVP stat is win. So I bet hit big because he's already elite. That's great call. Great call on that part. Scorpion as Henry versus the Browns, or Warren versus the Bengals. Can't believe I have to ask, but Henry got shut down last time they played. Yeah, Henry had, I believe, 26 or 27 rushing yards against the Browns in week 2. Jalen Warren against the Bengals seems like such a great matchup. I would go Warren personally. What do you think?
I have a tough time benching Derrick Henry just because there's always a chance. It's close though. Scorpion, I don't think you're crazy for asking. I don't think you're crazy for asking. I think I'd still go with Henry just because also after the game last week, Rodgers made a comment about basically like, hey, I don't think we're getting the ball to, Jalen Warren as much as we should. Um,
Mm.
and so I do wonder, like, is there a chance? Is there like a squeaky wheel potential coming up? Against a bad defense, the Bengals. Like I wonder. Yeah, I think you can make a strong case for Warren. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I love the squeaky wheel narratives. So good.
I still
Um,
I still go Henry, but I think it's defensible to go with Warren.
yeah. I think in DFS they're pretty close. Henry is Joe Warren's 6,100. I think Henry's like 6,700. I think. And I put Warren as a play and Henry is not a play, even though they're 600 apart. But keep in mind that DraftKings is also PPR, which is a big deal for Warren too. All right. Anyway, we have two more games to cover. Chargers 25, Steelers 10. Only an idiot, complete idiot, would bet the Steelers here. What a bozo who bet the Steelers. I don't know who that is.
Only a shill for the gambling industry would promote that.
Yeah. Show for the gambling industry has lots of advertisements on his website. Anyway, the Steelers offense looked like what do you say, direct before this
Yeah.
good word to describe this offense. Rodgers kept sailing passes over receivers' heads. It's just awful to watch. Chargers, Vidal, surprising game, I thought he'd be okay, but 95 and a touchdown, that's more than I thought. I thought maybe 65, 70 or something. He got close to 100 yards. And then, of course, McConkey naturally gets more targets because he runs shorter routes. Just kidding. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this game?
What a bozo. Aaron Rodgers should have had DK Metcalf on a touchdown. Should have had another big play to Wilson. It's just obvious to me he doesn't like to get hit. Like he doesn't stand in the pocket. He kind of spins out, dumps the ball off. Listen, he's 41 years old. I get it. I'm 43. I don't want to get hit. I just my wife tries to hit me and I just kind of dodge it. I just this Steelers offense is if you know what if, the thing is this team, like, they're actually good in some ways, and actually they actually could still score some points, but like they just they get drives that sputter out, and it's just kind of a weird offense. I don't know what to make of them. By the way, is Caleb Johnson still on the team?
Apparently he's getting some work. He had 2 carries. I was surprised. Like, where's Gainwell? I thought Gainwell was getting those carries.
I was being facetious. Two carries.
Yeah.
So dumb. Jalen Warren is awesome, but it's hard to do this offense. If you have Metcalf, you starting him. If you have Jalen Warren, he's easily a flex play, maybe a starter for most people. The rest of this team, yuck. Chargers, we already talked about. Justin Herbert and Drake May were my 2 favorite quarterbacks coming into the year.
Mm-hmm.
I drafted Herbert in multiple leagues. Didn't get May, actually. There was always someone else in the league that got him, that sniped me ahead of him. So
Sorry.
McConkey and Johnston. Keenan Allen is the one I think is, like, you could say, we said this last week about, like, Keenan Allen, who I have in 2 leagues and was starting early in the year. Last week I said, okay, he's no longer start worthy, and I think it's still the case going forward. I think he's being phased out of the offense in any meaningful way. The targets he had were kind of useless targets. He wasn't meaningfully a part of the offense. So it's McConkey and Johnston, and even the tight end Gadsden, like, not really a part of the offense in any sufficient way, like significant way. It says he has 6 targets, but like a couple of them were just like kind of throwaway passes, or like, sometimes quarterbacks will just throw the ball in the area receiver just to like it's basically intentional grounding, but a legal way to get away with it. Like, so Herbert did that, I think, twice to Gadsden, where he's just throwing the ball in his direction. So, like, it counts as targets, but it's not really targets. So Gadsden, who once upon a time, a couple weeks ago, looked like a great potential, tight end option, is now, like, not so great. And so in some ways that's good, because it's McConkey and Johnson and really nothing else in the passing game. So, like, it actually kind of makes it easy if you're going to start one of these guys. The question is, though, do you want to start any of these guys? And, like, if you have McConkey, you probably have to start him because of where you drafted him. If you drafted Quinton Johnson in round 11, like, you don't have to start him, right? So, like,
right.
like I don't know, man. Like this offense looks depressed without Alt. It's a bummer because like they lost both of their tackles, which is like what a like there's you know potential all pro tandem tackles out. Like that sucks. This offense could have been so much better. And they lost their rookie running back who looked great for for 2 games. So yeah, I think what this offense could have been is a bummer. I feel like we got cheated at what this could have been. Well, obviously it was always next year, but yeah, I think if you have the receivers, you're probably starting them, but it wouldn't be terrible to look elsewhere, if you want to sit Johnson.
Yeah, and not just offense, like what this team could have been, because their defense is 6th in EPA, and they have Jim Harbaugh coaching. So, like, I thought if they had both tackles, they could be one of the best teams in the NFL right now. Certainly the AFC. So it's really a shame that the season went down the drain. But yeah, like you said, next year Herbert's still young. It's only going to be Harbaugh's 3rd year. Both tackles are still young, so they could be a sleeper or like semi-sleeper Super Bowl contender next year. And final game, Eagles 10, Packers 7. This is a much better 10-7 game than the Broncos Raiders game, which you mentioned. But when we covered that one, a little disappointing that Saquon Barkley couldn't continue what he did prior to the bye when he ran for 65 yards against the Giants and had a great game. Otherwise, he actually had fewer yards in this entire game than he had in that one run against the Giants, which is kind of crazy. Devontae Smith caught a touchdown late. I needed 5 catches from Smith to hit our same game parlay. He only had 4, and then Hurts targeted him on one of his final passes and fell incomplete. Man, I was tilted by that too. But yeah, Hurts, not a great game here by him. He had a fumble. Love had a fumble as well. Love was I thought worse. Jacobs was really the only bright spot for the Packers offense. And five catches, 33 receiving yards as well. I thought people thought that like Luke Musgrave would just come in and do what Tucker Kraft did at like maybe like 80% capacity, and it's clear that they're 2 different players. So I kind of worry, if I'm a Packer fan, I worry about this passing offense the rest of the way, just because like you're really with Kraft out, you're really putting all your eggs in the Christian Watson basket, and like we know how injury prone he is. So maybe Jaden Reed could come back soon, but it's looking pretty bleak. What do you think about this game?
I've been saying this about the Packer receivers all year, where it's just a bunch of dudes without one guy, without one standout.
Yeah.
So in any given week, one of them might go off, or none of them might go off, but you never know who it's going to be. And so I don't want any of these guys in a starting lineup. Christian Watson and Jordan Love don't be on the same page. There should have been 2 long completions, and they were not on the same page. And so it looked like the Eagles' defense was awesome, but actually it was just like they were one of them like quit, or it was a pass breakup, and one of the commentators was like, "Oh, what a great pass breakup!" And I'm just like, no, like Watson slowed up. Like if Jordan Love just throws the ball 10 yards in front of him, it's a huge completion. So it's like they're just not on the same page. Maybe that gets corrected, but like I can't hope for that. And so really. Josh Jacobs is awesome. If you have him, starting him, no questions. Jordan Love though, didn't look great in this game. The Eagles defense obviously is phenomenal, and the Packers defense is legit. These are 2 very good defenses. The Eagles last year after the bye week, their offense took off, but also that's when their defense took off. And like this defense with the addition of Jaden Phillips, and like the bye week, like this defense looked great. And so I think the Eagles defense might be the best defense in the league. The Rams might be in the conversation. The Browns are in the conversation, surprisingly. But yeah, I think the Eagles defense is so legit right now. Obviously you don't get fantasy points for stopping the other team in that way. So unfortunately, but yeah, I think I don't think I've had several people saying, when is it going to change? When are they going to start passing the ball more? I think what we've seen is what this team is. If you have AJ Brown, no one's going to trade for him at this point, obviously. Right. If you're still starting AJ Brown, and by the way, like I actually checked this today, I was just curious. he was in the starting lineup for all 4 teams that own him in the 4 leagues that I'm in.
Oh wow.
And I think it's just name. I think people are just sort of like they're just expecting any day now they're gonna turn it around any day now. I don't know that that's true. I don't think that's the case. I think any day now they're gonna keep being what they've been. And so if you have AJ Brown, he probably should not be in your starting lineup. Like I know it's painful to say because if you drafted him, he's probably a first or second round pick, right? Like late first, early second. If you have Devontae Smith, like he scored a touchdown, he saves it, but like, man, like until that game, he was on, I think he was on 3 for 36 before that last, or 3 for 33 before that last catch. Like if you have Devontae Smith, you probably drafted him in the 4th or 5th round of your, you probably have better options for your second or third receiver or your flex than Devontae Smith. Maybe you don't. Maybe he's the best you have, but like I just want to say, like it's okay to bench these guys. Like, Barkley, you're still going to start because, like, he's still he still returned 100 yards from scrimmage. There's enough talent there. They're going to run the ball enough, but I think it's time to just be honest about the Eagles' passing options at this point.
What do you think the difference is this year from last year, or really past few years, where these guys have declined? It's the blocking.
Yeah, I think it's Hurts. At the end of the day, Hurts is just inconsistent, and the offensive game plan is not great. The opposite. There's a guy on Twitter I follow named Shane Huff. I don't know if you know him or not. Great. He does great work. He does a lot of film study. He's an Eagles fan.
Mm.
He does a lot of Eagles stuff. He basically showed a couple plays from last night. I watched this morning. I thought it was really helpful. He said on the running plays, the Packers were flying to the ball. On the play action, they weren't biting or nibbling at all. He's like, he thinks there's a tell. Like, he compared it to like a pitcher in baseball with a tell. Like, and he's like, this is not a new thing. He's like, we've seen this. We saw this against the Vikings. He said, we've seen this again early in the year. Like, teams are not biting on the Eagles play action. They don't run play action a lot. They run it very little. They don't run under center a lot. And when they do, it's not fooling the teams at all. It's making no difference. And so he basically just thinks their offense is too vanilla and too easily predictable, which I think is probably true. Like, they don't run any complex schemes. They're not scheming players open at all. It's just like, even on that last play, it's like, okay, Devontae, you run a post. Hey, Brown, you run a drag route underneath. You know, if the safety goes with Brown, then they're making the offense very simple for Hurts. It's like on that last touchdown pass, it's like, okay, it's a 2-man. It's basically a 2-man look. Brown runs the drag across the middle. The skinny post is Devontae Smith. If the safety goes with Brown, he throws it to Smith. If the safety goes with Smith, throw it to Brown. Like, it's just this very simple scheme. So Hurts can just make one read. Okay, the safety did this, then I do this. It's like this very like, when you see that kind of stuff, that tells me the coaching staff doesn't trust the quarterback, which is like, it's painful to say. I'm an Eagles fan. This guy's making $50 million a year. He's the Super Bowl MVP. Ratings are like, he played awesome in the Super Bowl. But like, it just seems to me right now that the coaching staff is like not scheming in any complex fashion. And there's only one of two explanations. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's only two of one explanations. And if you are a betting person, you want to bet the Eagles win the Super Bowl or go, or win games, I guess at all, I think this is important to consider. There's only one of two options. Correct me if I'm wrong. Either the coaching staff doesn't trust the quarterback, or maybe the coaching staff is sort of like kind of the way the Chiefs have been the last few years, where it's like, we know what it takes to get deep in the playoffs. We've been to the Super Bowl twice the last 3 years. We've won a Super Bowl. Like, we're just going to do the bare minimum to kind of get by the regular season and like really unleash the offense in the playoffs. Like, let's just keep a bunch of stuff hidden and scheme, like, which they actually did in the playoffs. Like, there's like, they ran some new uniques. So as an Eagles fan, I'm hoping that's the case. I guess I'm trying to be optimistic and say, I'm hoping the situation is not that they don't trust Hurts, but that they're just basically playing possum because they're like, we're just going to do the bare minimum to win games, get the number 1 seed. heal up, get a bye week, and then go to the playoffs and then unleash our offense, like which the Chiefs have done the last several years. Like I'm hoping that's the case, optimistically. But if that's the case, if they are intentionally playing a vanilla offense, well, then you definitely should not be starting AJ Brown or Devontae Smith if you own them in fantasy, right? You definitely should not be betting on this team because that means most weeks, if they're favored, they probably won't cover, right? Like,
Right.
so like they just, I think if that's true, if that's the case, this is not a place to find money.
Yeah, I mean, conversely, if they're underdogs or short favorites like they are against the Lions, then you can't. I feel like you can't bet them, in big games. It's kind of been the Chiefs' MO. You mentioned the Chiefs when they're favored by more than a field goal, or at least before this year, they just were a money pit. Like they would never cover the spread. But if they in big games when they're underdogs or short favorites, then they would usually cover the spread. So that's when they would come through. And I mentioned it last week. I thought the Chiefs hid stuff in the Bills. I thought they ran very basic stuff. Mahomes didn't scramble. A lot of the like fourth down in the red zone, they just decided to kick it. Like it was very un-Andy Reid like from what we've seen the past few years. So I think the Eagles could be on that level. Like these regular season games are kind of like old hat to them. It's like, well, we could win these games or we can win in January/February. And I think that's where they are. So I think we might see some new stuff. But then again, it could also not just be the quarterback, it could be the blocking too. Like Lane Johnson was out for about half this game. As soon as that happened, by the way, I live bet Eagles under 12.5 points. Just did not think that the Eagles were going to score. And luckily that game did go overtime. That would have sucked to lose that way. But no, like Lane Johnson's always in and out of the lineup. Cam Jurgens is out. Like the interior blocking is not as good. They missed Becton from last year. Not that Becton's doing well for the Chargers, but still, like he was a force for them last year. It's just not the same up front. So how much of a factor do you think that is?
I mean, it's definitely. I mean, for most of the last 5 or 6 years, the Eagles have consistently had a top 2, top 3 offensive line in the NFL. That offensive line right now is not a top 10 offensive line in the NFL. Now they're not far outside the top 10. They're in contention, and there are moments where they look like a top 5 offensive line. There are moments where they have a lot of where Jalen Hurts has a lot of just like oh my gosh, this guy's got like 8 seconds to throw the ball. I mean, it's crazy, but like that's actually not the norm. If you've been watching him all year. So yeah, Landry Dickinson in the middle, he's banged up. He's not fully healthy. Jordan Mailata has been in and out of the lineup, or has been inconsistent, even though he's been healthy. Lane Johnson played. Yeah, I think he missed like 2/3 of the game. I was shocked when he came back. The way he went off the field, I thought, he's out for the year. Like,
Yeah,
I thought he broke his foot.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, that sucks. But he's also not been amazing. Like, and so, I mean, it's not amazing compared to expectations. Like, we expect these guys to be like the best offensive line in the NFL. And so when they're playing like, as the top 12, we're like, oh, that sucks. Like they don't really suck compared to the Bengals. Right. Like, but they, compared to what we've seen from them over the years, this is worse than what we expect. So I don't know what to make. The offense is very simple right now. And it's clear. I think Shane Huff did a great job pointing out his work. Like it's clear that the defenses are able to figure out what they're going to do. Like it's not complex. It's not like the Niners. It's not like what the Rams do. Even like the Giants have run some of those concepts. Even like even bad teams run complex schemes where they're scheming a particular guy open. The Eagles don't do any of that. The Eagles make no attempt to scheme their guys open. They just, okay, you're going to run a route and just beat your guy. Like they and it's like, okay, like, but it doesn't feel like they're giving their guys a real chance to be the best they can be. Which is just, which as an Eagles fan, it drives me crazy, but I can't help but wonder. I wonder if, are they just okay, we know what it takes to win in the regular season. We have enough talent to pull that off. Our defense is awesome. Let's rely on our defense and then just tell Jalen Hurts, like, don't turn the ball over. Like that's what they said. Just don't turn the ball. I mean, this is the microcosm. They had 3 plays last night on third down where they had third and long. They had a third and 10, a third and 12, a third and 13. On all three of those plays, they ran a draw play to Will Shipley.
Mm-hmm.
They're your third, you're like your third string running back, right? Or your backup running back.
Yeah.
Like that just screamed, and they didn't get a first down on any of those plays, obviously. It's just sort of like a give up. It's like, okay, we try on first and second down. Okay. It's like okay, I guess we're just gonna punt. Let's just run a draw play, play it safe. We don't want to turn the ball over, and then just punt it away. And like just trust our defense and special teams. You're just like, I just hate that. Like it just feels like such a boring way to play. But they're 7-2 and they're the number 1 seed in the NFL right now, or in NFC. So I guess it works. I guess it's hard to argue with the results.
Yeah. Dom saying it sounds like the Bills right now. Yeah. In the Miami game for sure. They definitely did not bring their best effort in that one. We have one last question. What's up, fellas? How much fab for Patriots defense? I don't think I've ever spent fab on any defense ever. So if you have like all your fab left and you're desperate and you feel like the Patriots defense, because they played against the Jets this week and they are the number 1 defense, I think, this week, then maybe you spend something here, but like under normal circumstances, I would not recommend using fab on defense. What do you think?
Yeah. Unless you're just, I wouldn't see a reason to do that.
Yeah, and look, I mean, they are the best defense, but you're going to find some other good options too, where you don't have to spend your fab. But like I said, like if you have a crap ton of fab, if you have the most fab left in your league, like there aren't that many weeks left, so you might as well spend it. But I would rather not do that.
Yeah.
So, or just put the minimum in, like put like $1 in, or like who knows, maybe no one bids on them. So that's how I would approach it. All right, that's about it for this week. Thanks guys for watching and commenting. Really appreciate it. Kenny, do you want to talk about anything else? Perhaps thecapsfake.com or something else?
Check it out, thecapsfake.com. Lots of articles, nothing brand new, but feel free to check it out. Hope it's helpful. You can also follow me on Twitter, the cap is fake. And if you believe the salary cap is real, just remember it is not, it is fake. And other fun, entertaining stuff on the website. Also, I have been doing some reading about Major League Baseball and their potential implementation of a salary cap. And I'd be very interested because I wonder how that might affect the NFL when their labor negotiations come up. So it does appear that several baseball teams lost money this year. And so for the first time in several years. So I think there's a potential for some revenue sharing and a salary cap. That's never been realistic in baseball. It seems like it might be. So if anyone cares, I'll do some writing on that probably. I'm also a baseball fan. I have retired from other sports mostly, but still watch. I know you retired from baseball.
I did until So Rare, and then I had to start it up again. So
like Brandon Graham had to come out of retirement.
Yes, exactly. I don't think I did show you the Edgecombe card. I don't think I was able to show you. So I got this. And my dad was so happy to see it. So because he's obviously a big Sixers fan. There we go. BJ Edgecombe. This is this red is the blue version of what Rainmakers used to be. So it's like the elite version. So VJ Edgecombe right there. So looks nice.
When they come up with when they come out with NFL, I will be on it.
Hopefully they do, because they have for some reason soccer, but I think they're based in Europe. I think that's why. They also have basketball and baseball. I like it. I think that they have some really good prizes. Their prize structure gets better every single year. I'm a fan. I play both basketball and baseball on here. So nice. some good cards. We have one final question. It's from Dom. Any changes on Super Bowl predictions? Would you remove or add any new teams from your original thoughts at the start of the year? I believe my Super Bowl prediction was I'm going to pull it up right now. I don't even remember it. I know I think it's Eagles and was it Eagles Chiefs again? Oh, it was Eagles Ravens. Sorry, it's Eagles Ravens. which the Ravens could run the table. Like I said, they have such an easy schedule and they have everyone back. Wouldn't surprise me at all if they finish like 11-6, 12-5, and like they could be hot. They could get hot. They could certainly make the Super Bowl. I think from the AFC, you're looking at, despite the Colts record and the Broncos record, you're really looking at Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens. I think those are the three most likely teams. The NFC, I think you're looking at Eagles, Rams, Lions, and maybe Seahawks. I don't know if I believe in the Seahawks yet. If they beat the Rams, then I'll feel better about it. But I think the top three teams right now are Eagles, Rams, and Lions until the Seahawks prove themselves. If I had to make a Super Bowl prediction right now, it would be Rams versus Chiefs, and I think the Rams would win, gun to my head, but I could really go either way. I know you've been saying you think the Chiefs are going to win. Do you still believe that to be true?
I did believe that. I still think that they're. I would still be, even though if the season ended today, they would be the 7th seed, whatever it is. Maybe not, something like that. Anyway,
I think they're the 8th seed actually.
I
think.
I didn't make a Super Bowl prediction beginning of the year. Beginning of the year, though, I did think I thought there were only 3 legitimate teams that could come out of the AFC. It was Bills, Ravens, Patriots, Bills, Ravens, Chiefs. I have lost confidence in the Bills. I don't think they can come out at this point. I don't see that team the way that they're playing. I don't think they're consistent enough. And I think I would add I think the Patriots could come out of the AFC. I think Drake May is, when you have a quarterback that's playing hot, you got a chance.
Yeah.
And Drake May is playing as good as anybody right now. And so, and I trust the coach, right? Like they're not a great talented roster, but they're okay enough. And when you've got a smart coach, and who's got your team prepared every week and a great quarterback, I think you got a shot. You're a live dog, kind of like the way Jaden Daniels was last year, right? Like with the Redskins, like they had some ups and downs beginning of the year, and then down the stretch they got hot and they went to the NFC title game. It would not surprise me if the Patriots were in the AFC title game, against the Chiefs. That would not be a surprise. And could they knock them off? Absolutely. Particularly if it's in New England. Like, could they knock them off? Absolutely, they could knock them off. Patriots. I mean, the Chiefs would still be favored, my guess, but yeah, I think that's possible. So I think there's 3 teams in AFC that I think could come out: Chiefs, Patriots, and Ravens. I think the Ravens could get hot, run the table, as you said. In the NFC, coming into the year, I thought it could be, I thought Eagles, Rams, Lions, or Vikings. I thought the Vikings could be a legitimate shot. That's when I thought J.J. McCarthy was good. I no longer believe that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think it's those 3 teams. I think it's Eagles. I think it's in this order: Rams, Eagles, Lions is my probability. Yeah. And so if they played on a neutral field, I think the Rams, if the Eagles and Rams played on a neutral field 10 times, I think the Rams would win 6 or 7 times. I think they're a better team. But if they play in Philly, you never know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they almost won in Philly, despite the snow last year, which is kind of crazy to think about it. And they had a 26-7 lead over the Eagles, and then they blew it. And of course, that was the Jordan Davis return touchdown, which again I had Rams plus 3.5. Felt real bad, but at least it got 1 unit back on the Texans touchdown. So
yeah,
that was
I will say, if the Eagles end up hosting a playoff game where the Rams have to come to Philly, and that makes a difference in the game, that blocked punt, those blocked punts by Jordan Davis will come back to have been more monumental than we realized.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, I mean, the Rams traveling outside of the dome, on that dome, they're so dangerous too. So we'll see. I mean, they still could get the home field. Depends. And
Sure.
Seattle, you can't. I feel like you can't ignore Seattle yet. But I'm curious to see how they do against good opponents, because I mentioned the A through F group teams. They have not played against any team above Group C yet, except for one, and that was in Week 1 against San Francisco when San Francisco is healthy, and they lost that game. So, despite them being ranked 1 in offense and 1 in defense, they have not played anyone at all yet. And people have complained about the Patriots too, but the Patriots beat the Bills. At least they have a signature win. The Seahawks don't. But if they go into LA this week and win, and they obviously have to be in the running too. So I'm curious to see how they do against the top competition. I'm curious to see how Sam Darnold does against a team that wrecked them last year and made him see ghosts again. And, can he exercise that? It's a fascinating game. And for some reason at 4:05 this week. So very, very crazy. So
I love it.
yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much once again. I really appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow with Andy Isco talking Week 11 NFL picks. Then Evan. Oh, wait, sorry. I feel wildcard team this year goes to the Super Bowl. Yeah, it could be the case. We'll see. It is. I feel like the top 3 or top 4 in each conference are set in stone right now, but it could always happen. And how do you think Brenton Strange does this week if he plays? I don't think he's come back this early, but if he does, then it's who they play against. The Jaguars play against the Chargers. So it's not like the easiest matchup, so I would hold off and see if he's healthy. I wouldn't play him yet, but I think in the succeeding weeks, I think you could maybe play him. So I'd hold off right now. So anyway, guys, once again, thank you. We'll be back tomorrow with Andy and then Evan on Thursday with Tom on Friday. So full slate of videos this week. Kenny, once again, great doing the show with you as always. And yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your night. And I'll talk to you next week.
You the man, Walt.